All right. I need to plug this phone in. I need to plug it in. Plug it in. Plug it in. There we go. All right. Joel, what's going on? Already in the building, man. Center of the day, JPG, Ultramel. Ultramel, it's a nice one. That is a nice one, man. Man, make sure I got all my stuff in here. I'm gonna try my best to keep up with the chat tonight by using my phone, man. So one of the things that that gets kind of irritating sometimes is if I go through the if I'm scrolling up and down on the laptop and I'm using, my laptop's a touchscreen, so kind of going up and down there, kind of causes the issue, man. So, I'm just like, man, you know what I'm gonna do instead? I'm just gonna go ahead and do it on the phone. That's probably the best way to do it. And the other thing about doing it on the phone that I like is that, let me see if I can turn the volume down on here. Other thing I like is that I can scroll back if I need to. So, worst comes to worst, you'll see me pull the phone out if I can't keep up with the chat. I was trying to do it on the TV, man, and that tends to be an issue when I try to do it on TV. Major Davis, what's going on? What's happening? Will Rodriguez, sin of the day was Verity. Verity, that's new to me. Well, no, I have heard of Verity. What is it? But I have heard of it. I heard somebody mention it before. Mo, hey, Mo, what's happening? Sin of the day is Tom Ford, Costa Azura. So, Costa Azura is a weird one for me because when I first smelled it, like I was super excited about it, but when I first smelled it, I did not like it that much, man. It took a wearing for me to actually like go with a wearing on it to be like, oh snap, this is actually pretty good. Let me y'all hear the chain rattling, that's because it's hitting the mic. I was trying to make sure it wasn't hitting the mic like that. And then it's kind of interesting because it's a mirror feed on the laptop, so it's me trying to fix it and keep moving it in the wrong directions, man. But say order the Palatine Blanc or the Platine Blanc, yeah. Man, you're gonna be happy with that purchase. Trust me, because Platine Blanc is, I think I said this last night. This happens to be one of the ones that I think personally is one of the hits this summer, man. I will say that it's probably one of, if not the best drop of this summer so far. Man, I wasn't even planning on going live tonight initially, man. But then, so one of the things that I have to watch myself with is doom scrolling. So I'm trying my best not to, like, when there's a news event, I will stay glued to the TV forever when it comes to like the news event. And that's kind of what was going on this evening, where I was literally just kind of staying glued to everything, especially in the last hour or so, couple of hours, with everything going over in the Middle East here. So I was like, man, let me get on and talk, man. Let me get on and talk, because there was a lot of people who were literally like so panicked online, man. And I just was like, okay, well, let me get online, do a little bit of talking. That's why I think I titled it, deep breath. Okay, all right, calm, enhance your calm. Y'all know where I get that from? Sin of the day for me was that El Dorado extract. Okay. Oh, the extract? William Rodriguez said, I have not watched the news in years. So I normally don't. And to be completely honest, I don't watch most like conventional media as far as like your old school ABC News, CBS News. I don't watch them as regularly as I used to. I get a lot of news, of course, from your standard sources now, which is like, believe it or not, like YouTubes and, things like that. Um, but when stuff like that happens, I will kind of, turn on traditional media to, kind of see what's going on. And that's where I end up in that whole, like, consuming all of the all of the news at once, man. And it tends to be an issue. Joel, the man, the myth, the legend, he is. He is all of the above. The man, the myth, and the legend. So, guys, I want to talk to y'all right quick about one scent in particular. So, this one here, this Memories of Summer. Y'all know I was super hyped about this. Let me get my pretty face out of the way so it'll focus. Pretty face out of the way. Camera focus. There we go. So this one, I don't know if it's something in this that has me slightly nose blind. But this is a fragrance that when you spray it on, or when I spray it on, I don't pick it up initially, at least. I don't pick it up. I could barely pick it up. Let me say don't pick it up at all. I could barely pick it up on skin. And then every once in a while, if I'm kind of moving around, I'll get little whiffs of it, little pops of it. And I actually have it on skin right now. I didn't have a traditional, well, I did have, I wore Rare Reef again today. But when I took my shower this evening, because I was running around, I took my shower this evening, and I'm just kind of spraying a couple things on skin, and this was one of the things I sprayed on skin. I'm probably doing a full wearing on it tomorrow, but that full wearing is going to determine whether or not this goes in the damn maturation drawer, because I think I said in the first impressions that it's kind of light in the ass. That it is. That it is. But I think what it is that it's got like it's very much a sillage type of fragrance. It's not a direct smell type of scenario. It's not a big projector or anything like that. I think it's just kind of soft and just kind of has this kind of like waft in the air, but it's a very soft projector. I'm gonna be, like I said, I'm gonna do a full wearing on it tomorrow. And depending on what happens in that full wearing, it may go into maturation. All right, Mr. Clark 30 in the building. Set of the day, genre Imagine a Symphony. Oh, huh. I was just talking about this fragrance, which is a clone of Louis Vuitton's Symphony. So, hey, Joel said, I'll be going from live to live with Dan, the moderator there too. Oh man, okay, cool. Let's see, Mr. Clark, Sean, Imagine a Symphony is really good. I have not tried that. I have not tried it. I am interested. You say Imagine a Symphony. Is that one of the Louis Vuitton Symphony inspirations? Because I definitely need to know, because I've been seeing people talking about Emerald. Now, y'all know I'm a big Joe Milano Game of Spades guy. So when I see Emerald coming from them and it's supposed to be a Louis Vuitton Symphony clone or inspiration, I'm excited about that one in particular, although can't really find it anywhere right now. I've been looking, but can't really find it. I'm hoping, though, that it'll be available soon. As a matter of fact, I talked to my folks at a new store, excuse me, and it should be within the next couple of weeks. They were checking inventory that was coming in. So if they have it, when they get it, I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna get on here and yell that to the rooftops, man. Like, hey, a new store has it. Will Rodriguez says it's a hybrid of imagination and symphony. So it's nice. That sounds interesting. And so I'm wondering if it's a hybrid of the two. I'm wondering what it's taking from both of them, because symphonies are fairly, I wouldn't say basic, but it's a fairly uncomplicated, straightforward DNA. I know that the two would have the ginger in common. Of course, the bergamot in the symphony is probably going to brighten that thing up. So I can imagine imagination with an intro of a bright bergamot, and also with that, the sustaining amounts of ginger that are going on in there, maybe a little bit of that Sicilian cinnamon going on, and then kind of getting a little tea note in there. So basically, it would be kind of like adding a little sunshine to that imagination DNA. That sounds good. I'm gonna have to check that one out because that sounds like my type of hype. Because one of the things that I'm learning about the Louis Vuitton fragrances is that I don't feel like they're worth the ask. I don't feel like they're worth the $300 or $400. But I can't take away the fact that those things are done phenomenally. They're phenomenal fragrances. I just don't know if we're talking about $400 phenomenals. If Louis Vuitton fragrances were retailing at a high point of $180, they would be the biggest name in the market. They would flood the market because I feel like at about $150 to $180 between that price point range is where I would think is the perfect price for them. And that's a little bit high, but I think we don't mind as consumers, we don't mind spending a couple of more dollars on something that we know is going to be done well, right? It's when you're asking triple that we have an issue with it. Let's see. Joma Shop has emerald in stock. Oh, they do? Okay, cool. You know what? Joma Shop did send me a notification earlier because they didn't have it yesterday, and I put myself down to be like, hey, I want this when it comes in. So they did send me a notification earlier. I didn't look at what it was about. That probably was what it was. Mo said, I like the imagination, but there's some spice in it that sort of kills it for me. So it's probably that cinnamon so Ceylon cinnamon isn't like a typical kind of cinnamon. It has this weird kind of slightly herbal quality to it. So it's kind of like when you smell it, it tends to either you like it or it's kind of off-putting. And I know a lot of people who it's off-putting to. Especially when you blend it with a soapy style of fragrance or a soapy style of note, it tends to be off-putting for some people. Some people, like literally all they smell when they smell imagination is like hotel soap. And that's kind of, I think the off-putting side of it when they get that particular style of cinnamon in there, that spice. But yeah, I'm gonna have to check out Joma Shop, man, and see what's going on because that in itself actually sounds really, really good. That sounds really, really good. All right. Now, the other thing that I was looking at with this one is that if it is just a soft projector, that's fine. But it also seems to have some longevity issues. So looking at trying to figure out what's going on with that as far as longevity wise. Hopefully we'll see what's happening with it. But as of right now, it's probably going in maturation. Like I said, I'm going to wear it tomorrow, see what it does. See what it does tomorrow. But if there's any issues with it, then it's probably going to maturation for a while. And with this one, I've got enough summer scents right now to where if I throw this in maturation for a little while, a month or so, it's not going to be that big of a deal. The thing that I am concerned about with this one though is it's a scent on its own. I bought Symphony. I bought some decants of Symphony just to kind of do the compare and contrast with this one. I may end up using those decants to do compare and contrast with with emerald, because this just off of just off of what I've gotten from it so far, and I said this on that first impression as well, it's just not, to me, it's just not really symphony. It's a good one on its own. It is. Don't get me wrong. It's a good one on its own. It's just not symphony. Kid Panda, what's going on? Hey, man, glad to be able to catch another live. QQ. I watched Max Forte and he was reviewing a fragrance. How can you guys tell if projection, sillage, and performance will be good or bad off the stick? So it's kind of hard to say. You can kind of guesstimate after you've smelled enough fragrances. You can kind of start to guesstimate a little bit. As far as like your projection wise and sillage, the biggest issue though with doing that off of a piece of paper and off of a strip is that certain, not even certain, most colognes, most fragrances are formulated to be worn. So there are certain nuances that you'll only get from a fragrance if you're wearing that fragrance. Some fragrances, when you spray it on a piece of paper, they smell just fine. But when you spray it on skin, as you know, the heat, the warmth, the skin chemistry, all of those things kind of come into play to kind of form what that fragrance becomes on skin. Now, skin chemistry, not so much of a thing. I know there is a slight bit of a skin chemistry nuance in all fragrances, but it's probably only about 2 to 3% of a fragrance scenario. The majority of what you get when you're spraying a fragrance on, you have to think about the way that a fragrance is going to warm up on your body. And it's different on a piece of paper, because that piece of paper is not going to like display all of the notes in the progression that they're supposed to be in. It's going to kind of push everything off in kind of a linear manner, right? So it's to answer your question, it's hard to do, and 9 times out of 10, it's really impossible to do. We're only guessing off paper. This is why when I do reviews on fragrances, I wear them at least 3 to 4 times before I even do a review on a fragrance. And the reason why is because I want to be able to convey to you guys the full total experience, because I can smell a fragrance off the top and be like, oh, that smells really nice. 3 hours from now, that could be trash, right? And I've had fragrances turn on me like that. I've had fragrances that I've sprayed on and I've, worn around, and after, they smell really nice when I first sprayed them on, but after about an hour and a half, 2 hours, as they started to progress and as they started to change and all that kind of stuff, it became like, what was it that I was wearing? God, what was it? It was one of the Gucci's. It might have been the Gucci Guilty EDP, the reformulation that they did on that thing, where it made me nauseous. After, like, it smelled really nice, really fresh, had a nice little pop to it off the top. But then, man, when I put it on skin, an hour later, I got nauseous. So you have to be careful when people are advising you on fragrances, in scenarios like that, and they're not wearing them. You can tell if a fragrance smells good by smelling it here, but you can't tell how that fragrance is going to work unless you put it on skin, Let's see. Major Davis said, I ordered Gulf Ochre Unisex Riwawa collection from Joma Shop. I'll get it in about 2 weeks, though, and they're only ones who's offering it, right? Yeah, so Joma Shop tends to be the first ones to get a lot of stuff recently. And a lot of that just comes from the fact that they're one of the bigger houses here. Fragrance outlets here in the States. The other thing about the Joma Shop experience is that Joba Shop will say something is in stock and available, and you'll get it in 3 to 4 weeks. Well, if you get it in 3 to 4 weeks, it's not available. Like most of the time when that happens, they don't have the product in stock. They're using estimated delivery dates for their internal shipments to throw up on in stock on their website. So I'm not the biggest fan of that at all. But what it is, they'll do it when they confirm, like when that container is in transit to them. Once they get the mark that is in transit, then they'll put it in stock and then just give those long 2 to 3 week lead times. If Joma Stock truly has something, Joma Stock, if Joma Shop truly has something in stock, it only takes about, depending on where you are in the country, anywhere from 3 to 8 days to get it. I mean, so yeah, they do that though. They do that a lot. Let's see, Willie Rodriguez, do you like the rare reef that much that you're wearing it again, or is it for testing purposes? It's for testing purposes. I like it a lot. Don't get me wrong. I do like it a lot. I do like it a lot. But I want to try to get that particular review out a little bit faster. And the reason why is because I'm getting a lot of people that are inquiring about it. So I'm going to, I went ahead and I got 2 wares out in the wild so far. And then I'm going to wear it on Monday as well. And, to work. And then I'll probably drop the review Monday night and do the actual review. I'll do the review Monday night and drop the actual review on Tuesday. It kind of pushed back the Platine Blanc review, which I'm probably going to go ahead and push until Thursday. And my poor Mandarino de Sicilia review that is already sitting in here and is edited and ready to go is probably going to get pushed out another week. So, yeah. It's just the life of a reviewer, man. When people start, asking about a certain one, you just want to try to give them the information as quickly as you possibly can. But I still want to be able to give you comprehensive information, so I make sure that I actually get full wearings in on them. Kid Panda, but let's take Ombre Nomad. Even when I open the cap, it starts to fill the room. Is that a good way to predict if it'll be a room filler? Yes. Okay, so if you're opening up a fragrance and it's filling the room, yes. Now, again, all fragrances are different. So certain fragrances, yeah, that will happen. You can open up a fragrance and be like, oh, well, that's a room filler. Those are easy to predict, though. Those are like low-hanging fruit, right? So if you have a fragrance that like as soon as you take the cap off, it's loaded up the room, 9 times out of 10, that thing is going to be a room-filling beast of a fragrance. But that's like I say, low-hanging fruit. Some you could smell and just be like, oh, well, hell, this thing is loud as hell. So I know it's going to be something that's going to project. With the exception, there's a few fragrances that I've had that were loud in that first like half hour, and then they just completely shrink in. Vetiver Sensual is kind of like that, but not to that certain extent. I'm just looking around the room right now because I know a few of them. Cinqueterre, that new mancera, it's kind of like that, where it's kind of a huge projector for that first hour and a half, and then it just kind of slows down and kind of gets into, still not soft, but kind of moves into like a nice little controllable scent bubble. So there's a lot of fragrances like that too. Anyone try Ashar Legacy? I've been looking for a dupe for Blue Talisman because it's way overpriced for what it is. I've heard people talk about Ashar Legacy. I have not tried it yet. Here's the thing with the Blue Talisman DNA, and I think I've mentioned this before. I think Blue Talisman's DNA is nice. I don't think that it is groundbreaking. So, so I never thought of getting it for the price that it was at. But I've gotten a few different inspirations, your Taj 2, um your Art of Universe. I got the Tarathi Electric on the way. So I think it's a nice utility fragrance, but not something that I would spend a lot of money on. If the legacy one is any good, somebody let us know. I don't know if I'm going to get it. Like real talk. I'm going back and forth on getting Tarathi Electric because it was on the way. And I canceled it one time before and went with actually, ironically, Memories of Summer. Um, so it just kind of depends, man. Let's see. Will Rodriguez, it's good, Mo, but I sold mine and bought the OG. Genre has a good version, also just waiting for it to maturate. So, Will, you've had it. So, you've had it. So, you know what's going on with it. It said, do you prefer one or the other? Can't give an honest answer till genre maturates. Yeah, so that's interesting that you mentioned genre. I'm going to have to look into them. Kid Panda, start one, sell one, and bench one. Joe Malone, Molten Brown, Victor, and Rolf? No. No. I mean, the problem with Victor and Rolf is that, first of all, I'm going to sell Molten Brown because I'm not as familiar with a lot of their stuff. Victor and Rolf, I mean, they've got the spice bombs, man. They've got the spice bombs. That's all I got to say. They got the spice bombs. Man, Joe Malone and Victor and Rolf. Because Joe Malone still has some. I would have to start Victor and Rolf and bench Joe Malone. I would have to, just because the Joe Malone stuff suffers from longevity issues, except for, you know what? Myrrh and Tonka is one of my favorite fragrances from Joe Malone. Myrrh and Tonka doesn't have longevity issues at all. So I still go with that. I still bench Joe Malone and start Victor and Rolf. Still start Victor and Rolf. All right. Will says legacy definitely closer than Art of Universe. I hope so. I hope so because I think I am going to go ahead and post that video because I did this whole thing, this video on Art of Universe, where I was talking about, how brutish of a take on the Blue Talisman DNA it really is. And it's been sitting there for a little while. I may go ahead and post it. And I did it because I kept getting people asking about it. Let's see, Mixed Edition, what's going on? What is going on, love? One of my faves too from Joe Malone. Oh, you're talking about that Myrrh and Tonka? Myrrh and Tonka is the truth. Like Myrrh and Tonka is a vibe to itself. It really is. What time is it? Travels time for Sit. What time is it? Novice, what's going on? What time is it? What is the dealio? Man, I decided to jump on tonight because there was so much going on. There was so much drama in the LBC. I decided to jump online, man, and keep myself from going down the news rabbit holes, man. So I just decided to get on here, talk crap with everybody, see how things are going, man. I really like Cypress and Grapevine, but you mentioned longevity as an issue. Yeah, Cypress and Grapevine is really nice too. I think, so here's the thing about Joe Malone. Their fragrances are nice. Their fragrances are really nice. Cypress and Grapevine is a really nice fragrance. Wood Sage and Sea Salt, another one, really nice fragrance. What's the one I was looking at the other day? I smelled the other day, I should say. I cannot remember the name of it. I know that it's really nice, but longevity-wise, I don't know. Can't do it. Joe, pop it in, pop it in. Kid Panda, is it just me or does Bulgari also lack performance? Also, have you had the chance to smell in the Bulgari private collection? And if so, performance. Private collections are nice performance-wise. I think that you're still going to get. I don't have an issue with Bulgaria's performance. So The more aquatic ones, I can see that. Your Vulgari, Man in Blacks, those performance wise. You know what's weird? I did have a little bit of a performance issue with Man in Black when I first um, had it. And that one was giving me somewhere in the range of about 6 hours, 5 to 6 hours. Um, but it was a skin scent very fast. That was the only thing about Man in Black. Super fast that it went to a skin scent. I like Glacial Essence, and Rain, as a matter of fact, too. Both of those, same scenario actually. The longevity isn't really what you would want it to be. But their aquatics seem to last pretty decently. So yeah, I think it's a mixed bag as far as longevity with Bulgari. Major Davis said, so I find myself reaching for the legacy more so than the art of universe now. Don't get me wrong, I like art of universe, but it's something about that legacy that keeps drawing me to it. That's how you know it's a better version of the DNA. That's how you know it's a better version of the DNA. Because if you keep grabbing for that one, you know what's happening. There's something in that particular form of the DNA that you like more. Example of that, I got a couple of not really inspirations, but stuff that's close to that Tommy Percival, that style of DNA up there right now. One of those is Mont Blanc Legend Blue. I find myself reaching for Mont Blanc Legend Blue a lot more than I would some of the other inspirations there. Um, Speaking of, that may be my sin of the day tomorrow. Well, I got some testing to do, so I can't do it tomorrow. But yeah, that's the only thing about when I get into those testing. This is why I end up getting like I try to stagger my fragrances out, because when I get into like a testing mode, I can't really wear anything else but what I'm testing. Kid Panda, Man in Black is atrocious. Not gonna lie, the $400, $500 private collection ones I have not smelt, but Man in Black was regretting buying. Not gonna lie. So private collection, everybody knows I hate Tigar. I don't hate Tigar. Jim is good. What's the other one? The one that begins with a T. That one's good too. But I tried to stay away from them. I smelled them and was like, oh, that's nice, and tried to just move on, because $400, $500 for those things is ridiculous, man. Especially that Tigar DNA. That's stupid. Let's say novice. I just got that Vetiver Musk Tuesday, half the bottle gone. That stuff smells good. Compliment Mac. Vetiver Musk. That's the Narciso. Because if that's the Narciso one, you're damn right. That shit smells good, man. I am. I'm gonna try to rein this one in. Vetiver Musk is a fragrance that I've tried to, like, when I get a decant of a fragrance, I try to make sure I go through the exact amount. I go through the fragrance itself, that decant, before I buy a fragrance. That one, I just was like, I went through the decant so fast, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy it. And every time I went to go buy it, it was out of stock. So now, then I forgot about it. So now you just put it back on my radar. So now I'm about to go, matter of fact, God damn it. I'm about to go on Fragrance Buy right now. Right now. And see what they got on it. So I bet you it's in stock. Just because I said it. Yep, Vetiver Musk. And they have it. They got it too at like 44. Huh. Oh, that's for the 50 though. I might have to do 100 if I do it. Well, 100 ain't number 67. Hell yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's coming home. I got to get that one. I appreciate you bringing that one up. I definitely do, because when you're doing so many, man, sometimes you get to this point where you just start forgetting about fragrances. Like, oh, I know I want to get that, but oh, okay. I know. Perfect example of this. Last night, the middle of the night, after I got off of this live, you know what fragrance just kept popping into my head? Gravitas. So Naughton and Wilson has this fragrance called Gravitas Pour Homme. It's a fougere fragrance, kind of a modernized fougere. It's got a little vanilla in the base, but that stuff is amazing, man. When you talk about the fougere genre of fragrances, that one doesn't smell like, oh, the standard barbershop fare. It smells amazing, gentlemanly. It is rich. It's got all of the facets of just a great fragrance, man. And every time I'm like, oh, I got a haul coming in, let me get it. I go and I do something else. Go and do something else. Last night, it just fell on my mind that I need to get Gravitas. So, yeah. Let me see. Are you talking about how does Legacy perform? You say yes. Yep, Narciso Rodriguez on that one. Kid Pat, the start bench Sim, Mason Francis Kirkjohn, Frederick Mall, Roger Dove. You got to start Roger Dove regardless. I don't care how expensive the price point is on Roger Dove. You got to start Roger Dove on on fucking Imperium and on Solar Blue alone. You got to start them. Mason Francis Kirkjohn would be. Aqua Media Forte is good. Shoot. I'm gonna sell Frederick Mall. I'm gonna bench Mason Francis Kirkjohn. Yeah, because Frederick Mall, I feel like the utility of their fragrances isn't. They've got gorgeous fragrances, but I just feel like the utility isn't there for me. So I'd probably sell them. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. I get about 5 to 6 hours from Legacy. Oh, okay. Narciso Rodriguez Blue Noir Parfum. That is it's sitting up there right now. That is a gorgeous iris and citrus fragrance, man. That is amazing. William says, same Major. What times it travels? I got that 0.7 bottle. I'm ordering another one. Yeah, man, you might as well just go ahead and get the 3. You might as well just go ahead and get 3.3. Because if you like a DNA like that, and you know that you're going to wear that DNA, there's no reason in going with another, because you'll go through, like you said a little while ago, it's like you already like halfway done with the bottle. Like you may as well, you know you're going to use it. You know that's a fragrance that you're going to be revisiting a good bit. So yeah, get it, man, because it's like $20 more. You know, so yeah, $20 more. You say you're right, yeah. Anyone else in chat ever smelled a fragrance and felt it's too old for you? I'm in my 20s and Frederick Mall Promise and the Moon smelled like late 30s, early 40s for me. My girlfriend prefers it over Amouage. So yeah, you can age out a fragrance or be too young for a fragrance. You could do either one, man. So Frederick Mall, I do feel is like too old of a fragrance house as far as like the DNAs that they have for anyone younger than 30. I just don't feel like, or if you're going to use, that's why I mentioned the utility of Frederick Mall. Those are good dress up scents. Those are good. I'm going to a wedding scents. Those are good. You know, I've got a prom to go to. I say prom, but even prom that's a little too old for that. Yeah, it's they're older celebration scents, as I used to call them back in the day. They're gathering scents. They're okay. I gotta smell real like classy type of scents. They're not really a lot of utility with those, in my opinion. So yeah, I think those are a little bit older as far as the way that they present. That being said, I talked about Versace EDT, Eros EDT, And EDT, while EDT is kind of I know a lot of people, I think, Joe, you were wearing it the other day. I do find EDT, the DNA to be a little bit more youthful. So someone in their like 50s, when they wear it, it may not work as well as like maybe the parfum would for them. So yeah, age does matter in sense sometimes. You can't be like I was in elementary school, slathering Old Spice on. You walk around there smelling like a grown man, like a let me see. Mo, Portrait of a Lady from Frederick Mall is a masterpiece. It is. It is. I and I think that's the thing about their fragrances. They are, and to a certain extent, when you mentioned amouage earlier, it's the same thing with amouage. Is that those fragrances are classic. Those fragrances are blended and made and produced so well, but they're also comprised of DNAs that are more for like special occasions than they are for everyday wear, you know? Will Rodriguez says, I'm up in age, but immature enough to wear any fragrance. Hey, look. Hell, I am comfortable enough in my age and comfortable enough in my masculinity to wear just about any fragrance that's out there, man. I talked about Cara Pistachio. That's which is that, yum pistachio gelato inspiration. Hey, look, I don't mind wearing something bubblegummy. I don't. What Time says, thank you for referring that tonka bean and myrrh. Yeah, myrrh and tonka beans are monster. Have you smelled it yet? Because if you haven't smelled it, smell it. if anybody in here has not smelled myrrh and tonka, smell it. That stuff is amazing. Another one that got put on my radar the other day was one from Orto Parisi, this Teroni. So I hadn't smelled Teroni before. I was looking at getting Bergamusk. Go ahead, bring it in Bergamusk because Megamar is a little bit. I don't find a use for it as much in like a Megamar, especially if I got Atlas, which is close enough. But Bergamusk is a different monster. So I was looking at Bergamusk. I brought in some samples and stuff, and I got a sample of Teroni. They just happened to send me a sample of Teroni, and wow, that's nice. It reminds me of Myrrh and Tonka. I think Myrrh and Tonka's better though. Major David said, I said it last night and I'm going to say it again. That Anarchy No Rules reminds me of Legacy, but a tab sweeter, very nice fragrance. You say, okay, Prada L'Homme, Hermes, Terre d'Hermes, or Dolce Gabbana, the one, be honest, they happen to be in the same price point for me. Hermes, Terre d'Hermes, okay. It depends on which Terre d'Hermes you're talking about. Because in all honesty, depending on what time of year it is, those Terre d'Hermes will really, because I'm a Terre d'Hermes fan. You see Terre d'Hermes EDP Intense up there. Eau Givray is sitting over there, and Terre d'Hermes Eau Givray is the best summer scent ever created. I mean, stop. Terre d'Hermes Eau Givray is the best summer fragrance ever created. So if you put Terre d'Hermes on that list against any one of those, if you put Eau Givray on the list of any one of those, Eau Givray, like, what we talking about? You know what I'm saying? Dolce Gabbana, the one. Now, Terre d'Hermes Eau Givray is a summer scent. I feel like you can wear it all year round. It doesn't have as much utility in the winter. Dolce Gabbana, the one, is a great date scent. It's probably one of the best date scents ever. Prada L'Homme is good. I've never been like wowed by Prada L'Homme though. Never been. It's good, but I've never been wowed by it at all. So to me, it's just, oh, okay, this is nice. It's nice. But that's it. That's it. It's nice. What time said which one is Terre de Mans? So yeah, if you guys have never smelled Terre de Mans Eau Givre, let me get it right here. I actually have the refill for this thing. I just because it's a refillable. I actually have the refill. I just was being lazy and not refilling it. Terre de Mans. Can you see the dent in here? Understand, those dents don't come from nowhere. That much of a dent, yeah. It's enough to where I had to get a refill for this one. It's that good though. Like this is that good. So Eau Givre is this tart citron. It's a bright citron in here. It's got juniper in here, and it will cool you down. And it's kind of woody as it gets into the dry down, but you still get all of the citrus as it's kind of going into that dry down. The citron kind of maintains this balance throughout there. So it is literally, if this is a fragrance, remember I was talking about that Aromatix fragrance, and I was like, it's kind of a cooling factor to it. Like when you spray it on, it kind of has like a cooling factor. It kind of cools you down a little bit. Like when you get outside into the sun, it's like it kind of, not like this. Like this really feels ice. See that iced texture of the bottle? Like you might not be able to see how frosted the bottle comes across. This stuff, when the sun hits it, it literally starts to cool. Like it is the perfect, and then it projects even more as the sun starts to hit it. Man, this is the best summer fragrance ever. Like really, like really. And people are like, it's a designer, it's Terre de Mans, it's that, screw that. Like, bruh, I will put any summer fragrance that you come up with me and put this against it. Y'all know how gaga I am over Still Life in Rio. Y'all know how gaga I am over that fragrance. It still comes in second place to Eau Givre. Still. I mean, it's that good. What time says thanks, I'm buying. Will said Eau Givre is amazing. Yeah, it is. Also, ever since getting my perfume, I've not used deodorant like Old Spice, etc. much often as I'm not ruining my fragrance. Do you pair deodorant like Old Spice? I'm not referring to roll-on stick laugh. So here's the thing. I am not. So when I do degree, that's all we do. Ultra clear. Look at it, cut my face. There we go. That's all we do. I try to get something that's not very that doesn't have a real strong scent. I try to get like a deodorant that's going to be just like antiperspirant, not going to be going to have its own flavored scent or anything like that. Something that's real basic. Something that just smells like, oh, fresh. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't like it to interfere with my scent. I also don't like super slather. Like some people will super slather deodorants. I use just a standard, antiperspirant roll. Just zoom, zoom. Some people if you do sprays, like the spray deodorant, 9 times out of 10, it's still gonna interrupt the fragrance. So I just try to get something that's gonna be just a standard stick. Zoom, zoom, zoom. We're good to go. Let's see. Citron and juniper, love those notes, especially juniper. Yeah, the way the juniper really balances this thing. Like I said, it really pushes the cooling nature in here. Amazing. Mick said, we were just talking about cooling effects and ice notes. LOL, I need my nose on that one. You do. You do. I'll send it to you. Just let me know. This fragrance, man, is amazing. I think you would like this. You go gaga over this, I believe. I really think you would really, really like this. There's a reason that the dent is the way it is. There is a reason that the dent is the way it is on that fragrance. It is that good. Let me make sure I got the mic sitting up here. It be doing the most. All right. Major David said, Eau Givre is a beast. I also have the Intense Vetiver. It's also a beast. Yeah. So Intense Vetiver, Terre de Mes has this thing for making fragrances where they will literally take chances on fragrances. Intense Vetiver is another one they took a chance on. The one up here right there, EDP Intense, they took a chance on that one because that's lava. It's lava rock and coffee in that fragrance. And when you spray it on, you're like, oh, what are we doing here? But then you realize this is intriguing. Like it starts to kind of really unfold on you. And by the time you're done in that first 2 to 3 hours, you just have this really like fresh vibe going on. And it's like a really manly, real like grounded, earthy presence to it. It's really nice. Let's see. Kid Patton said, thanks. Thought I was the only one not putting on spray deodorant anymore. I also want to know, how did you get over your initial fear of only getting 100 ml bottles? I feel weird buying the 50 milliliter, not gonna lie. So some fragrances only come in that 50. I try to get 100 as much as I can, only because I know that I will use a fragrance to death. Also because if you look at my wall, uniformity. I tend to like to get the 100 ml bottles. 50 mils are fine for certain fragrances, though. My Kelly and Jones stuff are 50 mils. I have a couple of 50 mil Duas, and Alexandria's in there right now. And I very rarely, I don't even have them on the wall. But you know, I really think that 50 mils are fine, depending on the fragrance. Because if you know you're going to use a good bit of it, then definitely go over 100. Definitely go for the 100. But like I say, some fragrances are only 50 mils. You know. What time is it? Says that new Terre de Mes parfum has Flint in the middle notes. Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing. They're not afraid to use something like that. That's kind of like makes people go, huh? Like earthiness, something that is, you know, rocky, manly, a little off-putting to some people. Because I know the Flint note in the original Terre de Mes is a little off-putting to some folks. Let's see. Lenny said, what up? What up? What's going on, Lenny? Let's see. Will says, I've never smelled anything from Dua. You're not missing nothing. You're really not missing nothing. Dua's okay. Dua's an okay house, man. What time says straight fire? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The one thing I will say about the Dua stuff, to me, there's a Dua funk that I don't like a lot. I don't like the Dua funk very much. So I don't really get many Duas at all. I'm literally catching pops of this coming up. Like I said, I don't know. I feel like this is going to be one that I'm going to end up putting in maturation. But as I've been sitting here talking, every once in a while, I'll get a pop that'll just kind of, I'm like, oh, okay. So maybe it is there. Maybe it's there. Let's see. Kid Panda says, other than Hugo Boss, Bottle Elixir, Bottle Parfum, Absolute, which other designer brands do you think are punching above their weight that can compete with niche brands? Ugh. Oh, man. So, you know, Hugo is a good one that you just mentioned, as far as like that can compete with those niche brands. I would say if we're looking at designers, you've got your Cartier. Cartier is interesting because people don't talk about Cartier very much, but Cartiers are very much niche ideas in designer bottles. They're very much that. Terre de Mes. I just talked about Terre de Mes. Terre Hermes, they have a very niche mentality in the way that they do their fragrances. They will take chances. They will use stuff that may be off-putting to like the masses. They're not really leaning into like this mass appealing style of product. So they're very much in kind of a niche mindset. So I would put Hermes, Terre Hermes probably at the top of that list, actually. And then, like I said, Cartier is another one, even though Cartier kind of does their thing as far as classic style of scents. At the same time, Cartier also will have like these very stylistically genuine, types of creation. So I'll name those two especially there. Mick says, I have a love-hate relationship with 50 mil, but I'm okay with 50 mils now that my collection is growing consistently. I actually prefer 50 mil now so I can just spray it, love it, and move on. Yes. So that's the thing. If you're spraying, there's two minds of thought on that one. There's some people who don't mind 50 mil because their collection is so big that they feel like, hey, 50 mil is more than enough. I'll never go through that. And then there's people, like you just said, Mix, where they're like, you know what? I'll get that 50 mil because I know I'll be done and over with that thing and I'll move on to the next one fairly quickly. So neither one of them is the wrong way of thinking about it at all. So, and I see the mentality and the rationale on both scenarios. So yeah, man, like 50 mil to me, there are certain fragrances that I can get 50 mil of, and I know I'll never go through that 50. There's other fragrances I'll get 50 mil of and be like, it'll be gone in 6 months. Lenny said, have you smelled the new Mont Blanc Explorer? Not yet. I actually want to get a decant of it. Excuse me, I was going to smell it in the store when I was in the store the other day, and I just didn't do it, but I do want to get a decant of it and bring it in. Major Davis said, do you like that new one with the lava rock? Excuse me, do you recommend purchasing? Yeah, I do. On both ends, I do. Terre Hermes or the Parfum Intense. So this one is, like I was saying just a little while ago, there's something so intriguing about this fragrance, man. It's like when you spray it on, first of all, it abuses your nose when you first spray it. And remember I was talking a little while ago about fragrance that when you first spray it on, it's like, oh my God. And then it kind of shrinks in. That's this one. You spray it on and it goes boom. And you're like, what the hell is happening? And then it just kind of smooths out. Like it just, like the title of my live tonight, deep breath. It just kind of, whoo. And then like, oh, okay, I'm good. So yeah, man, this was really nice. The intro in here is nice. That goes into that lava rock fairly quickly, and then it starts to you really start getting that coffee nuance, kind of a ground coffee type of vibe to it. Oh my gosh, dang! I might want to wear this tomorrow. Actually, none of the. I'll be tempted to just spray it on, like, hey, they spray it on my skin. Although I got like 5 fragrances on right now. Who cares? No, I'm trying my best not to do that. Trying my best, man. Oh, this is the perfect time for me to go back in the chat. Remember what I was saying earlier? Yeah. Because it's scrolling on the screen fairly quick. Let's see. Cartier you wear at the opera, LOL. Yeah, pretty much. Let me say, Major Davis, a good house is Yeoman Lail. I got about 4 from them. So Yeoman Lail got some good ones. Bayside is a good one. I have yet to really try any of their originals that they have, but Midnight, Bayside, a couple of other ones that I've smelled are actually pretty nice, man. Interpretations of other scents. Let's see. Kid Patton said a lot of the time I would take one 100 mil over 250 mil of two different brands. I was wondering if I'm shooting myself in the foot by doing that. Not gonna lie, it really depends, man. It really depends. So here's my thing. I am all about variety. Like, if you can't tell by the collection up on the wall, I like to switch it up a lot. So I personally would probably take two 50 mils of different fragrances, depending on what those fragrances are. You know, now if it's a fragrance that I really, really like, then I'll probably go with the 100 mil on that. You know, so it's subjective. You know, it's not a one size fits all in that scenario. What time says I buy 50 mil because I wear a fragrance for a week to understand its personality and dry down? Yeah, yeah, because it takes a real understanding of those things, man. Kicks, Griffey in the building. Say my dude gave a drop in, show some love, caught the live late, but I made it. Send it today, Halloween man, the OG rainbow on the rainbow ombre bottle. Oh yeah. Halloween man. Mick said that's one house duo that I refuse to get into because it's oversaturated. They have way too many fragrances and it just feels overwhelming. But I guess that was the the idea for the brand. It was. That was what they were really going for initially, but duo's okay. I just don't like how all of them smell, you know? There we go. I was trying to line it up. Let's see. Yeah, speaking of kicks, yeah, kicks in the bill. Let's see. Kid Patterson also been reading up this molecule too, and there's another. It's slipping my mind, but people saying they use it to layer. Have you personally tried, experienced it, and have amazing results or not? So molecule 01, molecule 02, basically ISO-E super and ambroxan. They're very good as far as like extending life. Ambroxan will kind of extend projection. Well, no, I'll take that back. Ambroxan will extend the life. ISO Super will extend the projection of a fragrance. So you can use those, and I think Molecule One has kind of a soft smell. Some people can't smell it at all. Some people can't smell Molecule One at all. I can smell Molecule One, Molecule Two. I can't smell at all. But some people swear that it has a distinct scent to it. But they really do help as far as like, you know, now you could go on Amazon and find like an ISO-E Super or an Ambroxan layering spray. You don't have to get like the expensive ones. You can just get like one of those layering sprays and spray that on and spray your fragrance on, and it'll extend the life of your fragrance. At least the Ambroxan will extend the life. I may have them reversed. I think I do have them reversed. ISO-E Supers for longevity. Ambroxan is going to help push. So yeah. But it'll extend the life and projection on your fragrances. So I would definitely go for one of those. I've used them before. I've used ISO-E Super before, and I've used the Molecule One, the Ambroxan. Let me see. Good educational show. Thanks for the lesson. Major Davis, I appreciate the super chat, man. I appreciate the super chat from Mr. Kicks. Mr. Kicks Griffey from that one. Axel Von Ripper, what up, bro? Cheers. Axel Von Ripper. That is a badass fucking name right there. You know what I'm saying? Like you sound like, man, that name is like coming to the ring. Weighing in at 18 stone. You know what I'm saying? Axel Von Ripper. Man, that's a hell of a name, man. I like that. Major Davis says, me too. What time says, novice, you got me stunned on that Terre de Mez. I don't own not one. I just ordered that one that cools in the summer. Thank you, brother. Hey, no problem, man. That's Eau Givray. I speak highly of that one because that one is amazing. And if you ask anybody about Eau Givray that's actually worn it, they will be like, man, that is amazing. When I did that Pierce video the other day, when I did the review for that French Avenue Pierce, which is a Perseus inspiration, I was like, I keep hearing people comparing Perfumes de Marly Perseus to Terre de Mer Eau Givray. The two fragrances are nothing alike. Like, nothing alike. Let me say this again. Nothing alike. So the only thing that they may have slightly in common is that they both have and this is in general, they both have a tart kind of grapefruit-like note, even though the Eau Givray is actually using citron. And the dry down is slightly woody, but it's a different slight like type of woody dry down in Eau Givray than it is in Perseus. So they're nothing alike. Nothing. Perseus has this floral component that it really guides that fragrance. Eau Givray, smooth, very much icy style of fragrance. Let's see. Axel says, what fragrances are being talked about? Man, we're talking about everything. Anything and everything, man. Anything on the wall, everything on the wall. We're talking about everything right now. I started out talking about some of these over here behind me, man. Some of the newer pickups. Of course, the Rare Reef, which I'm wearing again today as my scent of the day. And it's really just to kind of, kind of really get stuff ready for the review on that one. I'm basically rushing the review on Rare Reef, just to kind of get it out there because I've had a lot of people, asking about it. So I'm going to go ahead and get that one out. I did the first impressions on it the other day. It has changed a bit since that first impression. So I'm definitely excited to get that one out. I'm probably going to revisit this a couple times in a couple of videos coming up. But not bad at all. But I am fast tracking the review on it. That's why it's my scent of the day today. And then I was talking a little bit about throwing this one into maturation, man. This is the Lure d'Espoir, the Paris Corner Memories of Summer, which, in all honesty, I think is nice. But I'm not so sure that it's a solid performer. And as of right now, I'm going back and forth to throwing it into maturation, which I have a drawer that I put all of my stuff in maturation. When I empty the clip, which means I, try to get it to where the sprayer don't spray no more. Turn it upside down, sprayer don't spray no more. Meaning I'm getting air, nothing but air in the bottle. Throw it in that maturation drawer and let it sit for about 2-3 weeks. Sometimes longer than that, and just, come back to it, see what it does. Axel says, I bought into the hype and bought Tarothi Blue, and man, I need to let it maturate. Probably need to give it some time. Yeah, man. Which one? The regular Tarothi Blue? Yes. The original Tarothi Blue, you definitely need to let macerate a little bit. I go back and forth between macerate and maturate. Yeah, you definitely need to do it though. Definitely do you too. Give it about, I gave mine about 2-3 weeks. I give it about 3 weeks. Axel Ripper, my favorite fragrance in the past year has to be Liquid Brune. I'm wearing it in the summer. I don't care. I love it that much. Liquid Brune is good. I mean, it's back there on the wall. Right there. Which, by the way, somebody asked me last night about vanilla fragrances. And I was going through the wall. I was like, yeah, we got this. And I started talking about fragrances that weren't necessarily vanilla based. And really completely walked past Liquid Brune, sat there looking at it. It was like, if it would have been a snake, it would have bit me. That would have fit perfectly into what they were asking about as far as price point, as far as the longevity, as far as utility. Perfect fit for all of those things. Let's see. You got me in trouble, Novice. My girl came in my office and grabbed a credit card. LOL, no more ordering. Oh, hell no. Tell her, man, it was Novice's fault. Novice was in here telling me, man, I need to buy this. I need this Ocean Spray or else. Ocean Spray or else. Man, look, I've been there. I have been there. And I talked to Kix Griffey about this a couple of weeks ago, man. We were on a live. It was Kix's live. And I was like, bro, I think I'm gonna have to give me a P.O. box. Because if one more box show up at this house, my wife gonna put her foot in my ass. And he was like, bruh, yeah, basically. Like, when you get in this, when you're in the hobby, it's one thing, man. But when you do not just the hobby, but you're also doing reviews and stuff like that, it's easy to make it look like, oh my God, you got way too many boxes coming to this house. What are we doing here? You know? But yeah, man, it gets real. It definitely gets real, man. Axel said, haha, the struggle is real, my brothers. It is. It is, man. But you know what, though? I think it is when you're into a hobby or when you're into something genuinely, if it's something you genuinely love, there are times when it may feel a little bit like, oh my God, you know, I need to slow down. There's people who are not into the hobby as much as they are into impulse buying. And that tends to be a problem because there are some people who don't love fragrances as much as they love shopping. And that's when it gets you in trouble, right? Because you begin to impulse buy stuff that you're never going to visit in your collection. Like, if you're buying stuff and you know you're going to come back to it, if you look at every bottle up here, the one thing you will notice in every single bottle up there is that there is a dent in those bottles. This one is the least amount of dent that I have right now, and it's because it's strong, at least for the first 6 hours. And when it sprays on, it's very strong, so there's not that much of a dent. If you have a stronger fragrance, you won't have as much of a dent in it. And some of my stronger ones don't have that big of a dent, but for the most part, everything I have has a nice sized dent in it. And it's because I genuinely love the stuff that I've bought. Where you get in trouble is when you're buying stuff, and then you have a drawer full of fragrances that you'll never wear. I know folks like that. I know quite a few folks like that, actually, that buy, and a lot of them are influenced by people like me. A lot of them are influenced by people like Jen Sense or TLTG, you know, Ross over there, man. And it's not that we're trying to, I mean, we have a love for a fragrance. We're just trying to relay the love that we have for a specific fragrance. At least I do. I can only speak for me in that scenario. But some people will see a Gent Sense video, and because Ash is like going gaga over a fragrance, they got to bring it in. Or if Kuba's going completely nuts over a fragrance, they got to bring it in. And then they get it, and they're like, oh, that's nice, okay. And they never revisit it. And they got damn near full bottles. I'm not gonna name no names. But if they watch this live, they gonna call and curse me out tomorrow. I know somebody right now that has, I would say, probably about 17, 18, almost 20 bottles sitting in their drawer that are full. They may have sprayed it, may have worn it out once, and that's it. On top of the 10 bottles that they're actually using in their rotation. And we're not talking about 17 bottles of like bullshit. I'm talking about one of the bottles is that one. that tear them is. Because they heard about it, they jumped on it, they bought it, they didn't like it. So yeah, man, I don't think there's no problem, in my opinion. There's no problem in having having this hobby. No problem. But you have to differentiate between being a fragrance lover and being a retail lover. There's a difference. There is a difference. All right, let me see what we got here in the chat. All right, you say, I forgot that I have this one as well. H24 Irby Vives EDP. I got to wear it soon. So you forgot you had it. That was good. I'm going to bring that in, man. I actually went through a decant of it recently, bro. And it's another one that has kind of a slightly cooling nature to it. It's got pear in it, but it's kind of a synthetic style of pear. But it's pleasant. That's one of those fragrances that is like, it's not super natural, but it's super pleasant. It's perfect for like warm weather, man. Let's see. Say, I tend to order more when I know my wife is going out of town. I try to make it so they be delivered when she is away. Yeah, I've done this thing before where I've put like a sign on the door. And it'll be like, hey, don't ring the doorbell. Just leave the package and walk away. Because I know that if that doorbell rings, it's an issue. I'm talking like this, but my wife she's supportive of everything that I'm doing right now. But she'll let me know. She's like, you got a whole lot of boxes in this week. Say, I love fragrances, brother, period. I use almost all my bottles. That's how it should be. Man, thanks for the super chat, by the way, Axel Von Ripper. I appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it, man. But yeah, use your bottles, guys. Nothing wrong with using your bottles. I know I do. I definitely do, man. Let's see. You say, Major says, yeah, my wife thinks I have a problem, and I do. Yeah. Look, the first step is admitting it. That's the first step to any healing. What time says Kuba is crazy? Brother cracks me up. Yeah, Kuba's a nutcase, man. Axel says truth. Yeah, Major says I collect disco, rare grove, classic house music, all vinyl and parfums. Man, look, vinyl collectors are special people, man, because you're dealing with a product that has to have been in the ultimate care, and then when you get it, you have to take the ultimate care of the product, You see, Axel says, Hawas the OG has to be one of my all-time faves. That bottle is a massive dent. Let's see, almost ready for the next one. It's amazing in beast mode performance. I can't get enough. Unpopular opinion? Me and Hawas have a love-hate relationship. I'm not the biggest fan of the original Hawas. I'm kind of like Ice. Hawas Black's okay. Fire is it's okay. So I'm not the biggest Hawas fan, but I like how it smells. Does that make sense? Like, I don't like wearing it, but I like how it smells. It's interesting. So maybe it's just not my DNA, but I like how the DNA smells on people. So I'll never not recommend Hawas in that scenario. Ice is great, but it was redundant to me. Yeah, if you've had the original Hawas, Ice is going to be redundant, and it is. It definitely is. It is redundant to the original, most definitely. That being said, I kind of like it better than the original, though. Like, for real, I kind of like it better than the original. But I can't knock anybody for liking that Hawas DNA. Like I said, it's just not for me per se. But I do like the DNA a lot. By the way, Last night I had to jump off because my wife was leaving the her sorority thing, man. So I had to go run and get her because she was like done with it. Like she was done. She was like, "This is that bullshit." So she was like, "Come get me." So I went. Tonight they got an even later night, and because they're doing like these probate shows and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like she was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna be here all freaking night." Um, so normally it's out of town when they do these things. They're like last year they were in Richmond, Virginia. The year before they were in Houston, Texas. Well, this year they're actually here in Atlanta. So the good news is that she gets to come home and sleep in her own bed, and we cool. The bad news is that now she is like having to wait for me to pick her up, to go to bed. Well, actually, that's not that bad of a thing because last year they had to drive like 20 minutes to get to their hotel. So I guess it's not that bad. But yeah, they want to do like later performances and all that kind of stuff since they're here in Atlanta and the founder is from Atlanta. So, she can go to her house. So she's like, oh, I'm fine with staying up till 3 o'clock in the morning, since we're here in Atlanta. LOL, wife is always a problem. I'll be trying to meet the delivery guy. Sometimes you got to. Like one of the things I'll be looking at is whether or not they send it at UPS, USPS, or FedEx. Like I know if they send it USPS, they'll usually they'll try their best to put it in the mailbox. Like they will stuff that box into the mailbox, and then I don't have no problems. If it's UPS, most of the time with UPS they won't ring the doorbell. They'll just come, drop it, and roll. But see them damn FedEx. When it comes FedEx, they make sure to literally go bing and ring the doorbell, man. So I always get in trouble when it's going FedEx. Axel says, I'm curious about Hawass Tropical. I am too. I'm thinking I am going to actually bring in Hawass Tropical because the Paradise Garden DNA is one that even though I wasn't like a big LeBeau fan, that one was actually not bad. And I hear that the inspirations are better because they come across a little bit more natural. So I'm probably bringing in tropical. It was either going to be that one or Cosmic Giardino. So I'm a classic househead who grew up in Chicago where it all started. Hey, look, that's why hey, I can see that. Joel says, I'm back. Appreciate you coming back, Joe. Gian says, Joel, you're following me. So both of y'all jump back in. Hey, look, that's not a problem at all. Axel says, Major, I got to sneak on in. Got to turn off the Ring cameras. Yeah, the Ring cameras will get you every time. And Joel said, yo, y'all following each other. So y'all go into those lives and just bouncing around lives right now. Gian says, I'm going to bed. See you, Joe. Yeah, Gian, man, have a good night, man. Definitely. I'm only on here, like I say, BSing because, well, two things. Because if I don't, my brain's going to be sitting there like, oh, I need to see what's going on the news. And I get to listen to the Fox people complain more, or the CNN people complain more. I get to listen to all this stuff tonight. Or, I mean, but the thing with that is I still have to stay up regardless because I got to go pick up my wife. And I don't know what time they're closing out tonight. So, I'm not gonna be on live that much longer, but I'd still gotta go do that later. So, I usually only stay on live as long as my drink is, and it's already kind of down to the bare bones on this one. There are a couple of new ones, man, that I'm interested in getting. I have been patiently waiting for that Blue de Chanel L'Exclusif. Like, I am literally holding a hole in my budget, like a $250 hole that's sitting there in my budget, just waiting for it to drop. Now watch, they're gonna make it like $300. I'm gonna be like, nah, I can't do it. Axel says, what you sipping on, bro? This is much better than Fox News any day. Well, I hope so, man. I hope so. But no, I'm sipping on my regular tequila with some chocolate bitters. That's basically it. You know, 2 shots of tequila, shot of water, um, 2 tablespoons. Well, no, not 2 tablespoons. 3 tablespoons of walnut bitters, 3 tablespoons of chocolate bitters, and a Splenda. Let's see. Joel says, I don't want to jinx it, but compared to other YouTubers, you're not getting as many trolls. I know. I know. And part of it is because I'm not as popular. No, I don't even know if it's that. I think that for some reason they just have not come to my page. And like I said, I'm glad you're not jinxing it. Let's not jinx it. But so far, yeah, they don't come to my page like that. Which is cool. Major Davis says, same here. I got to beat my wife to the door and mailbox. Yeah. Because my wife will see on the ring and she's like, you got a FedEx package today? Like, God damn. Axel says, sounds delightful, bro. Yeah, it's pretty good. This is actually really nice. This is really nice. Appreciate the $2 super chat, man. That's super sticker. I like that. The little thumbs up guy. Man, like, yeah, so I got a couple of them, man. That was a big one for me. That exclusive. That was big. I'm waiting on Seraphim Musk. Seraphim Musk should be here. I think they're saying they're gonna start shipping in the next week or two on Seraphim Musk. So that one I've already got though. I've already pre-ordered that one. So that will be here soon. And I'm excited about that one. I'm excited about Seraphim Musk. But as we go on later into the year, this year, there's not a whole lot of new releases that I'm super stoked about. There's only really 3. They're the Blue de Chanel Exclusive, the Lacoste L1212 Silver Gray, which is kind of trickling out right now. Like it's legit like trickling out. So I'm very, very interested in that one. And then there's another one. It's coming. It's gonna come to me. Joel says, can't wait to receive my Seraphim Musk. Yeah, I believe Seraphim Musk is gonna be really good. I know that Ross was really like on that one, but I really believe that one's gonna be really good. Just for the note breakdown, I love ebony wood. Like I've had a chance to actually smell ebony wood, and it has this rich kind of resinous style, almost smoky kind of quality to it. If you put that in a fragrance, I'm interested. That's gonna be like uber masculine. That fragrance is gonna be uber masculine, and I can't wait. Let me go back up. What time says me too is too expensive? Yeah. Axel says keep doing this, bro. I'll be coming out, man. I appreciate you coming out, man. What time says your streams are educational? Sometimes I got to put on my alligator Aloysius Beta, Professor Aloysius Alligator Beta mode, man. Like I've not only researched a lot as far as like scents go, but I've worn a lot. Like I've worn out a whole lot of bottles. Like, I've used up a whole lot of bottles in my life, man. Let's see. So, Axel says, any thoughts on Drakkar Blue? I had the OG for years, but no other flankers. Yes, I got Drakkar Blue coming, man. I haven't smelled it yet. Um, I've gone back and forth with pulling the trigger on it multiple times on Amazon because it was like $34, but they were giving like a 2-week lead time, 3-week lead time. I think it's like available now though on Amazon, so I probably am going to bring it in probably next week actually, because the old Drakkar, that's one of those that people grew up with. My uncles used to wear that stuff, man. Drakkar Blue, it's got some elements in it. I love blue fragrances anyway, but it's got some elements in it on the in the note breakdown that make me say that's going to be a really good old man scent. So yeah. Matter of fact, I might get that for my daddy. Matter of fact, I might get that for my dad. Now that I think about that. But yeah, I think Drakkar Blue is gonna be pretty good. Scented Paradise actually has it, and he was telling me that he likes it. He likes it a lot. Major Davis says, well, fun time is over. The wifey is home. Peace and hair grease. Peace out, man. I appreciate you coming in, man. I appreciate you coming to the live, man. Tell wifey the whole crowd over here says hello. What time is it? Says it's a new Demont out. Yeah, Demont, the Nitro Elixir dropped, I believe. That one. I don't know. I don't know. Nitro Elixir. So the other nitros are okay. I'm wondering if Nitro Elixir is going to be the best one out of the bunch. From everything that I've heard about it, because I know Neeb did a video. Did a video on it. Which, by the way, I need them Dubai connections. I need them Dubai connections because, like, Neeb and some of the other folks, Kyle and some of them, like, they get the fragrances given to them and sent to them like 3-4 weeks before they even come out. But I understand what that is. That's them, the brand saying, here, take this fragrance and talk about it on your channel, and that's gonna drum up hype for the fragrance when it drops. And it does. It works. Yes, bro, I had the same problem with you as Amazon. Yeah. With as you with Amazon, yeah. Dylan Blue, all-time favorite blue for me. I have Nitro White. I like it, but it's not my favorite. Yeah, Nitro White's okay. Dylan Blue's good. Dylan Blue is definitely good. What was I saying to somebody about Dylan Blue the other night? Yeah, if you like Dylan Blue, try that low 7 Cobalt. I think you'll like it. Axel says Neeb has direct line to the factory. He does. He does. Look, I got a fragrance bottle up there with a big Aromatix written on it. You don't think that a factory is going to actually write a whole YouTuber's name on a fragrance if they're not planning on having a working business relationship with this person? You scratch my back, I scratch yours. We're going to let you smell this 3-4 weeks before it comes out and put it in your hand. You do a video on it. It takes all of like a minute to do. Bam, 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 bam. Boom. And that's the promotion we need. Oh, look at NBT in the building. Tracy Lynette, hey, novice in chat. I'm late to the party, but I'm here. LOL. I'm up late night, so I appreciate you coming in. Definitely. I'm on here just talking. Just talking crap tonight. We're just... I felt like I had to get on live tonight because there was so much news going on, just a lot of news. And I was going into like this whole thing where I just go down what they call doom scrolling. So just going through all the news reports and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, you know what? Let me jump on live right quick. So that's why my live just says deep breath. Okay, we just go talk about it. you know. So it's good seeing you in here though. Definitely good seeing you here. Like I said, talking about some new stuff. Say NBT never sleeps. LOL. I need some of your motivation. I'll be back at it soon. I definitely feel blue with everything going on. Shaking my head. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot. But I also feel like there's so much going on that you can only keep a positive mindset about things that are happening. No need to go into like panic mode and doom and gloom and things like that. You try to find the stuff that you're happy about and you're happy in. My happy place tends to be fragrances, man. When I sit here in the room and I'm looking around the wall and I'm smelling stuff that's sitting around and just really kind of enveloping myself in my not only my hobby but something that I that people like to hear me talk about. um it tends to like kind of lighten my mood. And when I get on here and I can get to talk to all the folks out there, it lightens the mood. It takes something that's heavy and just kind of helps lift the load. I think everybody in the chat and everybody that's online right now, not just in here, but everybody that's online talking about something they love, everybody's doing their part in lifting the mood of the world right now. So yeah. Let's see, cough or legend blue. Legend blue. I was talking about that earlier. Cough, I like. It's very nice. Watermelon, strong as heck. It's a sneaky strong fragrance. It really is. But there's something about the way that the mint hits in that legend blue that is just kind of an invigorating vibe. Cough's not invigorating. It just smells damn good. But there's something about when legend blue hits the skin and it pops, man. There's something about it that just gets you, you're ready to go. So legend blue, legend blue. Cough's got his place though, man. Cough definitely has his place. Like if I was to take the two side by side, man, like when you take these at face value, cough, I mean, so pleasant. It's old school Tommy, yeah. Or Abercrombie, I should say. It's actually old school Abercrombie. Yeah. So pleasant, but it's got more of a fruity pop. Such a pleasant scent, man. It really is. And you go nose blind to it real quick because it's powerful too. But there's something about Legend Blue. Like there is some, look at that dent. Look at that dent. This is a grab and glow utility. I'm going out here to face the world right quick, and folks are gonna smell me when I do it. Beautiful. It's beautiful. Percival. Perfumes de Marley Percival. That's what this is. Like if you smell the two side by side, it's hard to tell the difference. You spray these on, let 2 minutes pass, and you smell each arm. Very hard to tell the difference. Very. I love it though. I really do. But yeah, I go Legend Blue in that scenario. See, Missoni Wave for me smells amazing, but man, performance is garbage for me. It's a shame because it's a great smelling freshie. Missoni Wave is super great. That's been a knock on it, is the performance. But Missoni's cheap enough to where you can run around with a decant and call it a day. By the way, this is what I do with my fragrances, man. I decant them out, fill up my decant, and use them as a travel spray. So I recommend you do that with the Missoni Wave. You know, just when you get the bottle, decant it out. Whenever you feel like you need to do a little refresher during the day, just open it up, pop, pop, pop. You're good to go. Do that with all my fragrances. Like as soon as I get them, decant them out. As you can tell, so these are my tester decants. Like when I'm testing, this bag is a tester decant bag. So stuff that I was testing, I haven't been testing Crimson in a while. So I got to switch out some of these for the new ones that come in. But this is my tester bag. Then I have my standard bag of stuff that has been all my other ones. So yeah, as you can see, all labeled in here. Like this is a huge bag of decants. Every fragrance I have, I decant out. And there's a lot of fragrances in here that I no longer have that are decanted out. These are just my ones that I've had full bottles of. This ain't counting like my 10 mil testers and all that kind of stuff that I have over there too. Because I have a whole like setup of those too. And then of course in my little tester tray, I've got, you know, so yeah, decant them out. Those little things are like for a pack of 15. Excuse me. On Amazon, it's like $20 for a pack of 15. But it's worth it. It really is worth it to be able to just kind of have that with you. So if you're walking around or something like that, and you feel like you need to refresh, you can just pull it out and bam, bam. Sometimes I carry these around and I never have the need to refresh, but it's such a habit for me to have it in my pocket just in case that if I don't have one of these in my pocket, it feels foreign to me. Something don't feel right. So yeah, even if I never spray it, I always want to have it. Let me go back to the chat. Let me see. What time says, hi, Novice, what's your honest opinion on that new Dior Intense Parfum? The Dior Intense, have I smelled it yet? I don't think I've smelled it yet. No, yeah, I have. Are you talking about the 2025? Because if you're talking about the 2025, I think it's okay. There's people who don't like it. I think it's okay. I really do. It's nice, you know. Would I buy it? Probably not. Probably not. Joel said, Henry, I would say cough. Yeah, I know, Joel, you'll say cough. I know you would say cough. Tracy says, fragrance is definitely a mood booster for sure. It is. It is, definitely. Axel says, I love the positivity here. Yeah, we try to keep it positive, man. I mean, because there's so much negative going on outside, you know. I be telling people, come in, sit down, man. It's cool. You know, we positive over here. We're not trying to go into no negativity. Definitely not. Let's see. Sup, Joe, for sure. Trust you coughed. It is. Yeah, Henry said. Definitely. Yeah, because cough's not bad. Don't get me wrong. Cough is, to me, cough is an awesome little fragrance, man. It is. It's just for me personally, I just like Legend Blue. I just like how it has that mint kind of picks. I'm a mint sucker anyway. It just is it's a pick me up. It really is. Let's see, Legend Blue for me had a mad alcohol vibe at first, but then the dry down is amazing. So it's weird because my bottle had that too, right? But after the first like maybe 3 or 4 sprays of it, like it was fine. Like, just spraying it around, it was fine. My friend, he didn't have that issue. Upon the grade, it was perfect from the initial time he got it till afterwards. So I don't know. But he got his after mine. So I was like, well, maybe, they fixed the problem. I don't know. Let me see. Legend Blue is such a good one. Yeah, it is, Tracy. It really is. Axel says, I got those decants off Amazon. I travel to work a lot. They're on point. Yeah, those decants are really nice. Like, I don't like the ones that have the little hole in the bottom and you have to kind of push down on to kind of fill it up. Those things are garbage, man. And they leak. Like, they really do leak. Those right here, they don't leak. They're really, really good. They're easy to fill. Um, you know, and the crazy part about it is not only are they easy to fill, they give you different little filler tools. So yeah, man, yeah, yeah. Let's see. Axel says, "Damn bag of goodies." Yeah. So I used to carry it around in my book bag, right? So when I was driving Uber, like I got in a wreck. A lot of people don't know I got in a wreck in September because I used to drive Uber in the evenings, and I would do sit of the days in the morning when I was headed to work, and then I would post those, and then I would, drive Uber after work. And when I got in the wreck, I stopped driving Uber, and I stopped doing the sit of the days because I didn't want to spray fragrance all up in my wife's vehicle, right? Um, when I was using my wife's vehicle. And now I'm just kind of like not doing Uber, so it's kind of hard for me to get into that mindset. But I would keep that bag of fragrances in my book bag when I go to work. So when I would be driving Uber at home, going home at night, a lot of times folks would ask me about what fragrance I was wearing because they would smell it. And I'd start talking about it and, I let them smell a little, decant of it. And I can't tell you how many times I did whole fragrance consultations while driving Uber. Like, like I put people on all kinds of different fragrances, and they were like, "Oh, I like this one. This one's really nice." Okay, so let me tell you where to find this one. You can find this one on fragrancebuy.ca. Man, I did whole consultations while I was driving, and that was also a good way to kind of gauge what people thought of my fragrance. Some people would be like, "Oh, that's really nice." Some people would be like, "Oh, that's kind of strong," or like Precious Oud, that mancera that I talk about a lot. Um, some people are kind of like it's a mancera not a lot of people talk about, right? But this fragrance, this one right here, is my most complimented fragrance in the winter for the last 3 years. Yeah, 3 years. So what this is, and some people might say it's feminine. It's not. So what you're getting out of this is you're getting a top note of tiramisu. So you're getting this sweet like tiramisu in here, but it's got a Laotian oud as well at the top note. So it kind of comes across as kind of oudy. It's not a funky oud. It's kind of like a softer oud, but it is definitely a very woody essence there with the tiramisu here coming in. And then there's a whiskey that comes in the mids. So it's quite boozy, quite woody with a little bit of a sweet vibe in there. Of course, oak moss in the base in this thing to kind of give it a little bit more of a earthy vibe. Amazing performance on this thing. Now, you remember what I said about 3 years, my most complimented fragrance in 3 years. Look at the dent in here. Now, you might say that's a big dent. Keep in mind, 3 years, over 30, 40 wears. Well, now 20, 20, 30, no, 30, at least 30 wears. And this is with 8 mil decants. Should have a bigger dent, right? This stuff is nuclear. When you spray it on, you have to be mindful of your sprays because it will blow the doors off of folks. So you have to be really, really mindful. But people don't talk about this a lot. They don't. I never see anybody talk about this fragrance, but it is amazing when it comes to like compliment factor. Like I said, in the winter, compliment factor is off the charts with this. The only thing that I will say is that it is unisex. It is. Some people would think that it leans feminine. There is rose in the mids in here. So if you're a woman and you want to rock this, you can. But as a guy, when you rock this, that whiskey in here just kind of gets accentuated. And man, it gives you this really like woody, but slightly sweet air in essence. And it's amazing. This is another one that's on the wifey's do not wear if I'm not around you list. There was a girl who tried to hug me when it was a Christmas party. And let me make sure my wife ain't, she doing her sorority thing. So it was a Christmas party that I went to, right? And it wasn't my Christmas party. It wasn't my job. It was hers. And there was this girl there who, gave her a hug and everything, and then gave me a hug, right? And she's like, "Oh, you smell really nice." Like, "Thank you." So when we were walking out of the door, she didn't give my wife a hug, but she came up to me again and gave me one of those, you know how they put the hand on the back of the head? Like, oh, that squeezing. Man, my wife was about to kick ass. Like, she was really trying. She's like, "Oh, you just smell good." And she didn't get the whole thing out. And my wife was like, "You ain't even hug me." So, yeah, it'll get you in trouble. This one will get you in trouble, but it's really, really good. I am a huge fan of Precious Oud. It is not feminine, even though people may say it is. Let me see. I saw the, what you call it, go. Price changes, review your upcoming delivery. That's Amazon. Look, they must have knew I was talking about them. Because Amazon just hit me with some stuff. All right, let me see here. All right. Oh, I got to go back into the phone and do it here. Henry said, "I smelled Leisure Blue at Macy's, but I had all the salespeople on me. LOL. It was hard to think about the fragrance. I had to go back and smell it again." Yeah, man. Like, so yeah, Macy's, they'll get you. They'll be on you, man, when you go in there. So it's almost like you have to be like, "Well, yeah, I'll just come here. I had to put something on skin, just kind of looking around. That's all. I'm not buying nothing." You got to tell them up front. Let's see. Joel said that bag, you could call it your travel collection. Basically, that's what it is. It's a travel collection. Let's see. What time says my fragrance collection helps my anxiety, keeps my mind off negative stuff. Yeah, man. The fragrances can be transportive. He says, yeah, the 2025. Yeah, the 2025. To me, it's good. I wouldn't buy it, but I think it's good. I really do think it's good. Now, when people were dissing it, man, I was just like, yeah, it's not that bad, guys. It's really not. Axel says, Joel, you try Afnan Odyssey Aqua. The atomizer is garbage, but man, the juice is spearmint gum and great performance. Love that stuff. You talking about Odyssey Aqua? Yeah. Odyssey Aqua's good. So think about Odyssey Aqua, though. Let's see if that green is messing with the camera. We see that? There it is. It's such a beautiful little fragrance. It really is. I like it. I like this a lot. The only issue that I have with this is kind of what you said just now. That and the fact that the top is like, well, now it's stuck now. Normally they don't stick, so they tried to embarrass me just now. It was like, oh, you didn't put me on the spot. Hold up, I'm gonna show you. Normally, when I got the cap and I try to do like that, it just comes off like it's not secure. But now it is today. Apparently, it's secure today. But yeah, this is a great fragrance, man. This is something that like it has this really nice mellow nature to it. I think it's inspired by Invictus Platinum, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I like it. So pleasant, man. It is super pleasant. Joe was like, yeah, not yet, but I'll check it out. Axel says, for the price, spot on. Yeah. Tracy Lynette says, rose and whiskey sounds amazing. Yeah, it is. It is. Man, Precious Oud is amazing. You say your wife should have slapped her. She started to. But she got to work with them folks. So normally when stuff like that happens, I just put the arm up like, no, we blocking. You know, have to put the elbow to the ooh, like she said. KM says, I made it. Hi, Sense friends. Hi, KM, how you doing? What's going on? We just been sitting here talking. G Boogie in the building. What's up, Gator? What's going on, D Boogie? KM, Sip Bubble say, I'm here. Joe's Matrix says, SB. Henry says, what does Boucheron Singulaire smell like? Boucheron Singulaire is literally like blue shower gel on like the extreme. So Boucheron Singulaire is literally, bruh, like man's man blue is what it is. Like it is brutish blue. But brutish in a good way. Boucheron Singulaire is basic. Like it's basic, like, okay, this is a blue fragrance. This is the makeup DNA of a blue fragrance amplified up like 3 or 4 times. It has the amped up lavender vibe. It is gorgeous. When it comes to like blues, it is definitely gorgeous. It's the blue DNA blueprint. That it is. Longevity is somewhere in that 6-hour range on it. It doesn't have anything that's like, oh my God, that's so special, or that's just so unique, or any of that stuff. Doesn't have any of that. But what it does have is just character, just personality. It's brutish blue, and it loves being a brutish blue. That's what it is. You know? Taste and Sense with D Boogie, Sending the Night Speechless by Lorenzo Paziagla. That sounds nice. Sip up and say, how y'all doing tonight? KM says, can you talk more about what a blue fragrance is? So blues usually kind of invoke the feeling. Sometimes people talk about blues as being like aquatics and stuff like that. My thought of a blue fragrance most of the time kind of gives you kind of your aromatics married with like a floral in the mids. Could it be like a geranium or a lavender? Something that's going to give you kind of a soapy, clean style of fragrance here, married with the kind of a citrus at the top. And blues could be such a weird thing because you have dark blues, light blues, you have all of those things. But in typical, when you think about a blue fragrance, you're thinking about something that's going to be kind of a clean smell. Basic is not the word, but when you think about something kind of like a shower jelly style clean type of vibe, that's kind of what you're thinking about when you're thinking of a blue fragrance. A lot of them will use a lavender or geranium in the mids. And like I said, you'll usually have a citrus or some sort of fruit at the top. You'll have like an aromatic in the mids a lot of times to go along and pair with it. And many of them do have kind of like a woody essence going on in the base and in the mids. Could that be like a cedar, a sandalwood? Although sandalwood's usually not in a lot of of blues, but you will have a blue occasionally that will use a sandalwood in there to go along with it to pair with another wood most of the time. Usually, when you think of like a blue and a wood, you think a lot of times like an oak or a cedar. Those two you'll see a lot with blues because they pair so well with like a shower jelly style of vibe. Axel says, well said, my friend. And KM says, beautiful description. Thank you. Well, no problem. No problem at all. But yeah, so this, now don't get me wrong, I love this fragrance. Let me see. You can kind of see the dent. You can kind of see it. Yeah. KM description. Thank you. Let's see. Sip Ups. I just did like 6 reviews. I'm in desperate need of a shower. Oh man. Man, that means you got like 6 different scents. That's literally clean. Bro, I did that. Oh God, what was it? It was maybe about 3 weeks ago. I had like, I can tell you which ones I had on me. I had salt, I had ex vetiver, I had Armoth on me, and I had Pierce on me. I had those 4. The Armoth Beach Party. Armoth Beach Party by itself should have been shower worthy, but I had all of those on me, and all I smelled was an amalgamation of just like I can't even place what it smelled like. All I know is that it had to come off. It had to come off me, man. You know, because I couldn't even sit there because I was talking to my wife. It was like we'll get dinner and then I'll go ahead and jump in the shower. I couldn't even eat because it was just like, what am I smelling now? Like whatever I'm smelling, whatever is mixing, we're not doing this tonight. So I had to literally get up in the middle of the meal. Let me go take a shower right quick and come back. So yeah, I get it. I definitely get it. Taste Assist says bright peach cannabis frag with a dry down into smooth wood. So bright peach. Peach I love. Tell me more. Dry down into smooth woods, not skanky cannabis either, just herbaceous green, but it tones it down. A cop actually complimented me at the farmer's market today. Bro, I'm about to pop in on y'all at the farmer's market. Man, because I know y'all be doing it up. But man, bro, that's intriguing. A peach with a nice smooth woods and cannabis. To add the cannabis is kind of adding a little bit of green to it, kind of like it was a like you say, kind of herbaceous, like what a sage would do, kind of. I'm guessing, huh? Said Bubble. I said I smell confusing right now, bro. That's what it was, bro. I had that stuff on. I was like, I don't even know what to think right now, because you know how when you have a scent on, usually it kind of like steers you, right? So you know when you have your scent on, that's what I smell like. This is what I'm doing. When you have multiple scents on, it like you said, confusing because you're like, okay, what's my vibe right now? What is my vibe right now? Especially if you're doing like different styles of fragrance, you're like, bruh, what is my vibe? What is my vibe? So Bubba said, you seen that new Guerlain vetiver flavor? Yeah. So, okay. Vetiver is the thing right now. Joel said, gotta go, take care, smell good, everyone. Joel, appreciate you, Sensei, for stopping through. Man, SB, man, that Guerlain. Okay. Honey and tobacco, that honey and tobacco when they have, amazing. So I know that vetiver, because that's in that private line thing they're doing, I believe, too. Man, oh my God, that thing. So everybody's jumping on their vetiver fragrances right now. I got my 10 mil, and I have yet to open it because I'm trying to save it for a decad dive. Let me see if I can fix that. Okay, there we go. Trying to save it for decad dive. But I got in my 10 mil of the vetiveria, right? And damn, like the hell? All right, there we go. I was like, the hell? So I got one for my folks at Parfums. About to drop it from Parfums de France. You know, with the hookup there. Parfums de France. This is vetiveria, and I'm not going to put a spray on until the decad dive, but if it's anything like I'm smelling off the nozzle on here, bro, this is going to be a good year for vetiver, especially with that Guerlain coming out. Oh, this is going to be an amazing year for vetivers. I love ex-vetiver. I just talked about that one the other day. You got vetiveria from Mama and Jane. You got the new one from Guerlain that's dropping. Oh, man. Let's see. Apparently, this one has fig and pineapple top. That's really interesting. A vetiver with the pine. So I saw that they were dropping one. I didn't see the note breakdown yet. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Because when I think Guerlain, for some reason, I was thinking this was going to be a drier style of vetiver. But with it having like, and I guess with fig, you could have it still be dry, but with pineapple, we got to see what that's going to be about. That sounds good though, but that's interesting. Nate at Paragon Fragrances, what's going on, man? I was talking about your live last night. Is that dropping in to show some love? Said of the day, JV Artisan Pure. John Varvatos Artisan Pure is a goated summertime fragrance. Longevity is, but that's why you get the decants. That's why you get the little decants. So you can refresh all throughout the day. And then JV Artisan Pure is one of those fragrances that's not going to break the bank. You can spray it out as much as you want to and be good to go and smell probably still better than everybody in the room because that fragrance is amazing. Not gonna even lie. Axel says that sounds good. It does. And then also Nate, man, I got to get with you. I'm probably gonna hit you up on Instagram. Definitely, man, because I had to holler at you about something. Let's see. D Boogie said SB color me intrigued. Yeah, that one sounds really good. SB said, oh, heck no, Gator. Spray that thing once for me. I need initial thoughts on vetiveria. I do it for the street. No, I'm trying my best not to. Trust me, because it's been sitting there. You saw I had it still wrapped up. And part of the reason why is because I opened the pack and I was just like, I literally was like shaking, like, should I spray it? Should I spray it? No, but it will be. It's gonna be a good one. I just be smelling it off the what you call it. I don't even smell the spray itself, but I know that it's gonna be something that's gonna be nice, and I get that it's smokiness from it already, just from smelling the nozzle. So I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be a live decad dive, trust me. So it's coming. Say, bro, a 10 mil is like 300 sprays. Hit us with one and just give me a no, because I gotta do the whole like initial surprise for the video. But it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. And SB trying to tip me. I'm trying my best not to spray it. I'm trying my best not to spray it. But it's coming. It is coming. Well, there's another reason I'm not spraying it though, and it's a little bit more than that, and we'll probably get into that soon. But hoping to have some sort of like giveaway associated with it. So yeah, trying my best to behave. Trying my best to behave. on this one, man. Um, but yeah, shout out to Parfums de France for this one, man. Um, but yeah, man, like the craziest part about um this year so far is that the ones that I really am like super intrigued by seem to be like all in the same genre of fragrance. Vetivers. Vetiver, like, well, with the exception of the new Blue de Chanel. Blue de Chanel exclusive, that's gonna be a monster. But yeah, I Vetiveria, the new one, the new Guerlain, like you were saying, that's on the radar. Somebody else has a new vetiver dropping. Said, so last offer, I'll send you a 5 mil of By Killian straight to heaven. I actually have. I think I have straight. Do I have straight? Yeah, I do have straight to heaven. I do have straight to heaven. So not on that one. Not on that one. Hudson 2 says thoughts on PDM Greenlee. I think PDM Greenlee is solid. Um, it's a nice scent. It's a really nice scent for spring and summer. I've never thought of it as being like a super high projector, high performer. That is more of I'm not saying it's a completely intimate scent, but it's not something that I feel is, an attention grabber, which in all actuality is not a bad thing. It has good sillage to it. The scent itself comes across like an apple shampoo, and it's fine. It's fine. Um, I don't know if it's worth the price. As good as Greenlee is as a fragrance, I don't know if it's worth the price that people ask for it. You say, bro, I ain't even gonna hold you after surveying like 30 vetiver dominant frags this year. Roja takes the cake by a long shot. Roja is gonna always. Roja is gonna always take the cake because Roja's on a different level than most of the other houses. Like, and you know what's weird about it? I was talking about this earlier, how because somebody asked me, there was a start, sell, and sit, and I was like, well, Roja's going to definitely start on the Solar Blue alone and Imperium alone. They start, but then they've got so many other DNAs in there that you're like, danger. I know that's one that you've been talking about a lot. They got so many other like DNAs in there that are worthy of being like, oh man, I can't see any house that is as overall excellent in everything that they do as Roja is. And I mean, I'm throwing Creed in there. Creed hasn't been an excellent house in years from just, yeah. I'm sitting here really thinking about it. And no, I can't think of a house that has been like on top of excellence the way that Roja has been, recently at all. Some people say, yeah, their bag is quite ridiculous. Yeah. It's excellence. That's the thing, excellence. You know that your fragrances are like quantifiably excellent when nobody even talks about the releases anymore, as far as like, whether or not it's gonna be any good. Like they know it's gonna be good. It's just a matter of how much is it gonna cost me. This is gonna be good. How much is it costing me? That's basically the only conversation you have with the Roja fragrances. Sip Up said, I have 8 bottles from them now, including Vetiver coming next week. Yeah, they're worth it. They're worth it. They're worth it. They definitely are. And I don't even have anything Roja in here right now. I had Imperium, And what's the other one that I had? The full bottle of Imperium, and then I had the decants of Isola Blue, which Isola Blue is going to be a full bottle. Eventually, that's going to be a full bottle. But yeah, like real talk. Oh yeah, definitely. Speaking of full bottles, we were having a conversation earlier about 50 mil versus 100 mil on a lot of these bottles. One of the things that I've been talking about a good bit on the channel recently is, the fact that I very rarely, depending on the fragrance, I very rarely do the full bottles on the more expensive fragrances. A lot of times I will literally do, and I'm looking at the one of my trays now, will literally do like the 10 mil of certain fragrances. If I know that it's a good fragrance, it's a decent fragrance, it's going to last a while, and, I don't need to have a full bottle. The other thing with them is that, well, it depends, because sometimes I'll go through these and just be like, nah, I need to get a full bottle of it. The biggest thing, though, is that if I know a fragrance is going to last me a while, 3 sprays, 4 sprays, and I'm good. Perfect example of that is Carlisle. Carlisle, I know, is like, I had a full bottle of Carlisle. I just was like, you know what? When I was out of that bottle, let me go ahead and just re-up on the 10 mil, because what's going to end up happening is I'm going to wear it all of about 2 times this year. And then that's it. So I don't even need the whole bottle, because I'm going to wear it 2 times, because I'm going to be doing other fragrances tested. And plus, even when I had a full bottle of it, it was one of those things where I was like, oh, let me wear this, let me wear that, let me wear this, let me wear that. And I had so much variety in the things that I would wear that it didn't even make sense for me to buy the full bottles. There are some that are special and they're full bottle worthy. We was talking about the Solar Blue. Solar Blue is full bottle worthy, and I will get a full bottle of that. A lot of the Rosiers actually are like that. Like I said, Imperium. As much as people are not fans of the Louis Vuitton stuff, Imagination's full bottle worthy. Not much of the other stuff is, but that one is. Pacific Chill is full bottle worthy. And that's one of the ones that one of the only other ones that I have a full bottle of. And y'all already know the story about why I don't pull Louis Vuitton bottles on my lives, Let me see. Oh, let's see. Let's see, I will give you a Roja 5-pack soon. Get you on some of the crazy ones, including Doglev. Doglev. TT Fragrances, what's going on, man? What's happening? Is that TT? I just bought a City of Stars today. I love it so much. City of Stars is interesting with that sunscreeny lime type of vibe. Yeah. I didn't like it. I didn't really like it, but apparently people do like that fragrance. People do like it. I'm not talking about like the wearer. I'm talking about the people who like are around the wearer. It gets a ton of compliments. I just did a 2 mil decant of that one. Used it up in a day because I couldn't smell it. I could not smell it. Like the lime, once it got past that initial lime, that initial, I shouldn't say just lime, but that initial citrus pop. After that, it's like I would go nose blind to it for some reason. And that's odd for me with the Louis Vuitton. But I just kept on popping. Folks was like, oh, yo, no, we smell you. No, it's good. We smell you. Say, I saw TT. Congrats on your purchase. I know that was a big deal for you. Good job working and getting the money for that. Yeah, yeah. He said, thank you, SB. Lots of long days of painting curb addresses, but it paid off in the end. Plus, I got TT engraved on the bottle. Hell yeah. Yeah, claim that's it. Claim that. Plus, I believe City of Stars, I believe the Louis Vuittons, like from now on, when you buy the fragrance, I think you get the like refill, like half off. So you can get them to just refill the bottle, if I'm not mistaken, right? Because I know it's like that with Imagination. They'll refill the bottle for you. And Pacific Chill, they'll refill the bottle. So yeah, I think it's like that's what the girl told me with the Pacific Chill one. It's like half off on the refill. T Blitz, what's happening, man? Say, hey, bro, what are your most intriguing niche frags for you? Intriguing niche frags. So intriguing. We were just talking about the Guerlain one, but that's technically not a niche frag. But their private line stuff is niche. Like the honey tobacco, that vetiver one, that's niche. The Ormond Jane, that's niche. That one's intriguing, and I just took my hands off of it just now. But very much an intriguing scenario. I've been really into the house recently, Simone Andrioli. They've got a few fragrances in that house that have been just popping to me, man. Tulum Junglescape is a very like pungently fruity style of fragrance, but it's like almost like a rotten, over ripened fruit, but it smells so like good in the air. Like it really is a nicely done fragrance. Malibu Party in the Bay, which smells like a coconut mojito. That stuff is amazing as well. That whole house, Simone Andrioli, is really doing their thing. Thomas Kosmala, they've got a few that are really good right now. The Neon, their number 4 line with Neon, with Sport, with a couple of them. I'm a sucker for Neon. Like I am a sucker for that Kosmala Neon. It is really, really nice. And then recently, man, like as far as like I went and had a chance to experience some of the day 3 stuff. And day 3 has some really, really nice stuff. Anywhere from Aylin to Bonnie to Tres Oros, which is that hot shit. Like Tres Oros is nice, man. They're another one that I really like have like, oh, they're going to be one to kind of keep an eye on the next year. So I think they're going to be really, really an intriguing watch for some of the new stuff that they're dropping. And then, of course, I talked about Zaharoff Seraphim Musk earlier. Definitely have an eye on Zaharoff stuff, man. One of my favorite fragrances of all time, of all the times, is from their Zen Creators line. It's called Second Soul. It was the one that they did in collab with Justin Copeland, man. And oh my God. That's all you can say. Oh my God. Second Soul, like I had to fight. It's discontinued. It's been discontinued for a while. I had to fight to get a 10 mil of that stuff. Bro, that fragrance is, when you smell it, you think that you're in a jazz club. Like, but you're like a distinguished jazz musician and you got swagger to you. And yeah, it's boozy, fougere. Amazing. I love it. Let's see. I like Pacific Chill better than Imagination. Yeah. The thing, though, is that I feel like Imagination is more versatile than Pacific Chill. But Pacific Chill is more intriguing. It's got more to it. Sibub said, I'm truly realizing everyone really connects to different frags over others in LV. Age, where you're at in your journey matters with it. It does. It definitely does. You say thoughts on Goldfield and Banks. Some of the Goldfield and Banks stuff that I've smelled is nice. Um, the Sunset Hour is really nice. As a matter of fact, my wife likes Sunset Hour. I was thinking about getting that for her. We're going on vacation in a couple of months. That would be a good beach scent. Yeah. Yeah. Goldfield and Bank stuff is really nice. The longevity doesn't seem to be there for everything. What's the one, the ginger one? Why can't I think of the name? Why can't I think of the name? It's got ginger in it. That's in the name. Why is the name not coming to me? That one is good. I like it. That one is good. Tasted Sis said Trace Oros is so good. Crazy work with that plantain. Yeah, it is. So have you gotten any Montauk? Is it Montauk phrases? I heard they were pretty spot on. I'm curious on your thoughts. So here's the thing: the Montaigne. I think you're talking about Montaigne as far as like the dew fragrances with Montaigne. So some of the Montaigne fragrances are pretty spot on. The problem with them, though, is that the longevity, like they're spot on at the top, and then they just turn into other shit. Like you smell it, and you be like, oh, this smells like a vintage for the first 5 to 10 minutes, and then as it goes into like that hour and stuff, you're like, oh, this ain't really a vintage. Like it really surprises you at the top notes, and it feels like that fragrance, and then it kind of dries into something else. That's at least that's been my experience with the ones that I've experienced with them. I don't know about everybody else's experience with it, but that's just been my experience. Um, let's see. TT says I'm going to make my first long form video tomorrow night on City of Stars. Do it, man. Knock that out, bro. Knock it out. Do it. He said it'll just be on my channel. Yeah, y'all go check that fragrance. Y'all go check that out when he drops it, man. I'm interested in seeing your thoughts, your full thoughts on that one. He said it'll just be on his channel, so y'all be on the lookout for it. Tracy says Sunset Hour is a beauty. It really is. It really is. It really is. Top 3 favorite Bodicias. For the 2 that I've smelled, the Blue Sapphire is probably my favorite. Green is the second. But it's just been those 2. And part of the reason why is because I only know like 2 people that have them. My partner Greg has them, and one of my other partners has them, who also happens to be named Greg as well. It's a Greg thing. That Greg has all of them. Every time they drop a new Boldisia, he's got it. But I smelled them, and I was like, okay, this is cool. This ain't worth $700-800. Like they've never been worth that to me. Like even the ones that apparently they've been really hitting it up for like these $280, $300 prices online now as some of the discounters for some of the newer ones or some of the other ones that they're dropping. Even then, I just haven't thought of it being worth that much. Like now, that don't get me wrong, I need to put my nose on them, so we'll see. You know, when I hear about Roja, I'm like, Roja's probably worth that much, you know. But from what I smelled on the Blue Sapphire specifically, when I smell that, I don't think that is worth that much. And it colored my my thoughts on the rest of the line and the rest of the house's drops. So take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. Let me see. Ingenious Ginger. There we go. Why I couldn't think of Ingenious Ginger? Could not think of Ingenious Ginger. Thanks, D-Boogie. It said the Bohemian Lime is good. Yeah, Bohemian Lime is real. So we went to one of the niche shops here, and the girl in there was layering Sunset Hour and Bohemian Lime. And she just kept on like, calling people over and just layering the two on people so they can smell it. That's a really nice combo. It is a really nice combo. But Ingenious Ginger, man, is nice. I like Ingenious Ginger. And I can't think of why I couldn't think of the name. Couldn't think of the name for nothing in the world. Nothing in the world. T Bliss said top 3 favorite warm weather frags. Well, I just talked and went on and waxed poetic about Eau Givray a little while ago. Eau Givray is the summer fragrance. Best summer fragrance ever created. And it's a designer, which is the sick part about it. Go ahead. Straighten up. There you go. See, my face is still in there. There we go. All right. I don't know why I had to, that irks me. I have to get it to focus. If I was to think about the next one, and I've been waxing poetic about this one too. Still Life in Rio, of course. Olfactive Studios. Still Life in Rio. Beautiful rum, coconut. It's a lovely like yuzu at the top, man. That citrus just pops. It's bright. This is sunshine in a bottle. Vacation in a bottle. Gorgeous fragrance, man. I would not consider this a summer drop, but when we're talking about warm weather fragrances, another one of my more recent pickups, actually, something just dropped, is this one. Acqua di Parma, Mandarino di Sicilia. This is a photorealistic mandarin orange peel with spearmint that comes from the base and petitgrain. Really nice, really manly, really fresh. This stuff is amazing. And then something new to the table. And I'm kind of bringing out a lot of new stuff because, you know, I just like to do the new stuff. I'm going to reach for it. I am. God damn it, I am. Don't sleep on this. Don't sleep on it. Because I slept, I was going to sleep on it. I was. Till I got a chance to really wear it. Oh, man. This is, he did a damn good job with this. They did a damn good job with this. M. Micallef's Gin and Tonic. I love. This is that with a more prominent mint note. And I keep hearing people equating it to being a blend of Torino 21 and M. Micallef's Gin and Tonic. I will say that this is more a blend of M. Micallef's Gin and Tonic, and Etat de l'Orange's You Are Someone Like You. Just because of the way that the mint is introduced into this one. A little bit more leafy mint, and I think that's why people are equating it more with Torino 21, but it's a little bit more of a leafier mint, but it still has this kind of like undertone pastiness to it though, that just kind of brings out the aromatic nature in it, man. I can't hate it. And in a way, I almost wanted to, but I think what sets it apart from Gin and Tonic, which makes me like this a little bit more, is the mint, and then the longevity on this one seems to actually be, I've worn it twice now, it seems to be a decent 6-7 hours on skin. And on clothes, it actually does last a little bit. So I can't knock it. As far as summer fragrances go, I can't even knock it. Cannot knock it. Bohemian Lime sounds intriguing to me. It is a nice fragrance, man. Axel says, favorite mint frag or frags? I want a mint dominant type of fragrance between $50 and $100. I just was talking about mints, man. This one is really good. I brought up the mint, and it's more of a spearmint here in the Aqua de Parma. Um, but I dropped something, and I don't even know where it dropped, but I know it hit the floor. It's gonna come and bite me soon. I know it is. But anyway, oh, it probably landed over here somewhere. Ain't that some bullshit? But yeah, so as far as mint fragrances go, man, you got your Pacific Chill DNA. Pacific Chill is awesome. I had a couple of those DNAs right here. Of course, you got the Rare Reef. We were just talking about Rare Reef a little while ago. It is my scent of the day. It's gonna be my scent of the day until I bust a review on it. Fairly new, of course. Then it's got a prominent mint note in here as well. I like the way that the mint carries a little bit more in the other Pacific Chill inspiration, which is this one, of course. This is the Jean Lo vibe. This one is that Pacific Chill DNA. This is a more watery, a little bit more watery than most of the other interpretations of the DNA. And to be honest, this one I think actually progresses more like the actual Pacific Chill does than most of the other ones do. And then we're talking mint. Now, this isn't a warm weather style of mint, but you could use it in warm weather, but it's one of the most prominently minty notes and minty fragrances that's out there. This is an interpretation actually of Limal Elixir, but they overdosed the mint in here and it makes this fragrance so aromatic, man. This is Club de Nuit Lionheart. This one is more than just a standard twist on Limal. This is an overdose of peppermint, but it smells so good. It's such an air, especially in the fall. This is a stunner in cold weather, man. Not cold weather, but cool weather. Let a breeze catch this. It's amazing. It is amazing. Now, y'all gonna tell me which one of these decants dropped, because I know one of the decants dropped because I heard it go down. So I'm like, which one was it? I have no clue. I had picked up that. You know what? It had to be right here. I'll find it eventually. I'll be looking for it eventually. All right. Yeah, I'm about to get off of here, SB, because I'm about to go pick up the wifey in a sec. They said, what are some frags that you gatekeep? I don't gatekeep anything. I don't gatekeep anything. I used to gatekeep Egypt, but Egypt is such a good fragrance. I don't gatekeep that at all anymore. This is one of my guys, man. Aiden Bob Egypt. It was one of those fragrances that not a lot of people talked about, but it was always just classy when I would, get ready for work, man, and dropping my suit and tie, or more like gator, my sweater vest and tie scenario. Yeah, that was the one that I would wear, and people would talk about that a lot. Precious Oud that I was talking about a little while ago, that was a gate kept one for me for a while because nobody talked about it. From Mancera, still nobody talks about it, to be honest. But it was really one of my favorites. And then, although it was really popular, a lot of people really didn't know about it on the streets, of course, and that was Linsumi from Lalique. That's a fragrance to me that just speaks utter class, a little boozy, a little green. It's got all of those facets in there, but it is a stunner of a fragrance and a pretty affordable stunner at that, man. But nobody knew what I was wearing when I would be walking around wearing it. So I kept that one on the hush for a while. So yeah, those are some gate kept ones for real. Let's see. This might sound weird, but is there like a Christmassy peppermint type fragrance you know of? Christmassy peppermint. That I don't know if it's that one per se, There's a fragrance that I'm going to be doing a review on in a little bit, and I've had it now for dang near 6 months. I don't know if it's been quite 6 months. It's been a while. It's been at least 4 months. I know it's been at least 4 months. See this thing? This is Royal Blend Bourbon. Okay? When you mention Christmas, yeah, this is not an inspiration of anything. This is their first original Royal Blend line. This is Cinnamon Toast Crunch in a bottle. It's basically Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It's got that Christmas decoration vibe going with some chocolate. It smells like peppermint bark. You know that little peppermint bark stuff that you get? Well, that and a little bit of chocolate from like those little chocolate alcoholic cherries. It's a little mix of that too, with the mint. Yeah, it's interesting. I like it, but I can only wear this literally during the holidays. And I can't see any other time of year I could ever wear that fragrance, like ever. Sip Bubbles, I tell you what, Gator, you putting in the SB level shift. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was about to get off of here to say Rare Reef is the new Afnan, correct? Yep, that's the one. Ashley says, thank you. He said, you already know how I feel about that joint. Yo, I know. I already know. I know you love to listen to me, man. You say, still live, say, I want Creed Aventus, but it's too expensive. Okay, so you don't have a lot of, there's a lot of different options out there for Creed Aventus. Like a lot of different options for Creed Aventus. So like, my thought on that is definitely check into the inspirations that are out there, man, for Creed Aventus. And in all honesty, my favorite version of it, if you look at like a Prescio, which is more of an Aventus Absolute, but in that vein, of course, you got your Club de Nuits and stuff like that. I've never been like the biggest Club de Nuit guy, but I love the Prescio. I think they did that one very, very well. If you want to get into a similar DNA as that, though, that 9 p.m. Rebel is fairly cheap, but it's the quality belies itself. It is actually a very high quality when it comes to like Aventus style DNA. So that may be something you might think about doing. Yeah, Club de Nuit Intense has you covered for Aventus DNA. Yeah, definitely. It's like, do you have a bottle? No, 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 no. And I say that because of the fact that I have not, when I ran out of my Club de Nuits, that's it. Wore them down. It's like, you know what? I don't need another bottle. Not even, no, I don't need another bottle. Nah, I don't. But I'm one of those people who the Aventus DNA is just like, I'm over it. So I don't, if I'm over a DNA, I don't want it. I don't need it. I think the last Club de Nuit I had was the limited edition, and I gave that to my brother. It was dang near a full bottle. He was like, man, that smells nice, man. I was like, cool, go ahead, take it. Because I'm just not, I'm kind of over the DNA. I do need to get another bottle of Prescio though, because I did have Prescio and then I left it somewhere. And that's Prescio. No. That was another one I gave to my brother. That was another one I gave to my brother. He was about to get that 9 p.m. If it wasn't for the fact that I was trying to make sure that I had at least some semblance of a Creed DNA in the collection. That being said, I probably still will get another bottle of Prescio. I probably still will. So yeah, no, I traded Prescio. I traded for, what did I trade it for? It was something that that I was trying to find and couldn't find anywhere. Shoot. It must be in the other room. It must be in the It must be in the wall closet. I'm trying to think of what it was that I traded it for. I traded it for something. I can't remember what I traded it for. See, that's how you know when you have too many fragrances, because you be like, yeah, I just traded it. I did it. I did have that. I remember I had it. I don't even remember when I had it, but I had it. I know I got it in that bag. I know I got the decant of it in the bag. Let's see. Thoughts on Jazz Club? Any similar style frags? Jazz Club, it's all right. It's cool. Similar style. Like I was talking about the booziness and that boozy nature of that Second Soul. That's like literally Jazz Club on steroids, though. If you're looking at something that's going to be in a similar vein to like a Jazz Club, I mean, you could definitely go with your Gold Cedar Nights, the Jesus de la Posa. I think this is going to be a better style of it though, because it's going to have like a little bit of a cinnamon boost in there as well. So that one's going to be something that you could rock with if you're looking at something in that vein. So of course you could go into like the deeper level of that and go into like your reefer cots and stuff like that, which is more of a baby cat. It's more of a burnt vanilla style, but it kind of goes in that direction that you would be doing with the Jazz Club. And I got stuff up here, just trying to think of something that would be in that vein that I have sitting in front of me that I don't have to go look for. Yeah, I would say those. I would definitely say those. I'm trying to think of some other stuff, but yeah. Out of sight, out of mind. Say, press show is really nice spelling, yeah. Lenny said, I just want the smoky pineapple scent. Smoky pineapple, then yeah. That 9 p.m., that'll do it. 9 p.m. Rebel, that'll do it. The Lattafa Farsan is great pineapple frag, and it's like $15. Yeah, Farsan, I got that up in the top over there too. K8 Farsan is a great fragrance. The 9 p.m. Rebel is the upgraded version of K8 Farsan, basically. Upgraded version of it. With a little bit of touch of Baccarat, like my boy said last night. So what fragrance just automatically makes you think of fall? Oh, man. There's a lot of fragrances that make me think of fall. When I was talking about that 8 Bob Egypt a little while ago, that makes me think of fall weather, man. But just off the top, just looking back at the board here, the Brioni Intense definitely is a fall weather. It makes me just bring about, in my brain, it just equates to fall season. The fragrance way at the top up there, that Boss the Scent Magnetic, that fragrance definitely brings out fall vibes. When I think of fall, that fragrance just keys it in my head. Of course, just walking over to it. Not this one. This is the Vetiver Sensual. So I talk about my most complimented fall fragrances. This one, whenever I smell it, I think of fall because it is my most complimented fall fragrance the last few years. This is Mancera's Kumquat Wood. So this is a slightly tart grapefruit with like a very herbaceous style of green vetiver, and then it kind of goes into more of a smoky vetiver in the dry down. Gorgeous fragrance, man. And when I smell it, it automatically makes me think of football games. And I think it's maybe the grassiness. When you used to play football, you're on the football field and you smell that, that kind of earthiness is that. For some reason, the football thing equates to the fall for me. So Yeah, that makes me think of fall, like automatically when I think of that. Let's see, Axel, does it have a smoky scent? That one, if you're talking about K8 for Sun, a little bit. A little bit. It's not overly smoky, but it does have a little bit of a smoky scent. That one, that 9 p.m. is probably a little bit more smoky. Um, Now, you were talking about fall scents a second ago. I cannot, I cannot think that I can forget about liquid broom tonight. So throw liquid broom in there. I was about to just move on, but I thought about it. I left liquid broom out last night, so I'll just say it again tonight. Dan, blind buys, W Stream, TT Fragrances, my Kate Alphason bottle broke. Oh, wow, that sucks. Hoodrich Gaming said, I've been collecting a lot of new fragrances, but my wife gets mad and says, I don't need that money. Fragrances, what do I do? We talked about this earlier. We were talking about this whole thing earlier in the chat about how when you do these fragrances, like for real, like my wife will, I literally have to, was talking about getting a P.O. box before my wife kicked my ass. So yeah, man. Yeah. Sometimes, man, you just got to take the charge, man. You got to take the charge sometimes. She'll understand. Sometimes. Try to limit it though. I say that, but try to limit the spending. Try to limit the spending a little bit. A little bit. Von Aston said, really, it broke when you got it or later. That sucks. Say, thanks for 9 p.m. Appreciate it. I'm out, Cologne fam. All right, Lenny. TT Fraser said, would a more cafe be good for me? I've heard all good things, but I have nowhere to smell it and I don't want to buy a decant. It'll be a $90 blind buy. Is it worth it? So here's my scenario with a more cafe. I love the scent of a more cafe. I will never wear it as a fragrance. A more cafe to me smells like a fragrance that you would put in your house. It doesn't smell like a fragrance you would wear. I don't get me wrong, it smells nice, but it smells like a candle. Like I have this thing about wearing fragrances that smell like candles. And that one doesn't smell like a fragrance. To me, I wouldn't blind buy it, definitely. You definitely would want to get a decant of it. But when you smell it, you think of coffee drinks and you think of and it smells so good, but it's not something you want to walk around smelling like. It's something you want to burn a candle and have your house smelling like it when you get home. That's it. As much as I love Mancera's, that one for me just wasn't it's just not a good fragrance. A beautiful, well, I'll take that back. Beautiful fragrance, just not a good fragrance that you would wear. Henry said, how do you like Aqua Dubai? I like it. I think Aqua Dubai is solid, but I will say this, it gets more compliments than the Real Imagination, which is crazy. And I think it's because of the masculine level in that thing with the pentagram. That's the wifey calling right there. Hey, babe. All right, I'm on the way. All right, love you too. All right, bye. That was the wife. She was like, please come get me. I'm tired. She been dealing with them folk all day. Oh, man. You said the atomizer just randomly broke? Oh, that sucks. He said, I just got into collecting fragrances. I met a coworker. He has over 120 bottles of colognes. He showed me there's a lot of cheap fragrances out there that smell amazing, especially the Middle Eastern. They do. There's a lot of them that do. They're getting better, at least. They are. Amore Cafe is a hot cup of coffee with a vanilla ice cream scoop in it. It's a beautiful, sweet fragrance, better for winter. Yeah, it is. Don't get me wrong. I love the fragrance itself. I can't see myself wearing it. Like to me, it just comes across as such a candle style of fragrance. Oh, hold on. There we go. it just comes across as such a candle style to where I don't even want to like wear it because, you know, but I love my house to smell like it. I would love my house to smell like it. I am about to go pick up the wifey, man, because she's finally out of this, what you call it. But guys, I've been doing 2 hour, 54 hours. The Sip Bubble was like, look, I need to go ahead and do my live, man. I'm hoping that he went ahead and started the live up. But man, guys, I'm about to go ahead and get out of here, get the wifey, get all this kind of stuff together, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the like button before you get out of here, man. I'm about to get out of here. I usually don't do lives this long, but damn, we're going to, had to spend some time on here tonight and get it, just talk. But anyway, holler at y'all people later. And remember, whatever you're doing, however you're doing it, make sure you make the day the best day ever on purpose. Peace out.